Yay!
Hey, what's up?
What's up? All right. It's a Friday night.
It is super excited to be here.
Oh, me too. Thank you. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, of course.
Hell yeah. So I was really glad that when you said you use Discord for gaming, I was like, yes, I won't have to walk you through how to set up your mic and how to set up your your
Oh,
headset.
yeah. I used to stream, so I'm very familiar with how all of that works.
I saw your TikTok actually. Your
Oh, really? Yeah.
yeah, the gameplay stuff. Yeah.
Those are
Hell
from a
yeah.
little while ago. It's been a minute since I've put any clips or anything like that out, but I still play. It's just a lot of work.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Any kind of content creating is, it takes some dedication.
Oh, for sure. It takes a lot of time, too.
It does. Yeah. And when you're busy, it's now some of the airsoft channels I've seen, they'll they will slap a GoPro on their helmet. They'll go out and play. No scope cam, nothing, and then they just slap it up on YouTube. And I'm going, what? I don't
Yep.
like no
Nope.
editing.
Yep. No music, no like
No.
intro, just like, hey, here's me shooting rentals. Enjoy. Like,
I
I
mean,
get it.
I'm like, okay, yeah. Like, you got to have something that makes me want to watch it. Like,
Is that something to draw you in? Yeah.
right? What are we doing here? I can't see the BB going anyway, okay? Because your GoPro, like, you
Right.
don't have a scope cam.
Or it's not like angled right, and then all you're
Oh,
seeing
God.
is that's like my biggest pet peeve. Like when because I just recently got into like recording when I play, especially at N1, and I'm always like, is the angle look right, guys? Because like I don't want to be that person that you're staring at like my hands and not actually,
Oh,
the
dude.
people you're shooting at. That's just really awkward sometimes.
When you go to edit it and you load it and it's like you're watching it and it makes you want to just it's like you're tilting your head. You're like, uh,
Yep.
I can't. Oh God, I can't see. Okay, my boys when they started playing and recording the gameplay stuff, that was the stepping stones of learning
Hmm.
using a GoPro and shit. Was the first one? It was they come back, they give me the memory cards, nothing on them. I'm like, these are empty, bro. Like, oh shit, we forgot to turn the camera on. Like, you dumbass.
That's me. So I can't even say that's literally me. So my so many times I'm just, especially when you start to do it and you're not used to it, it's
Yeah.
like remembering to hit that button on the top before each round. Because I'm the type of person that like when we like are switching sides or something, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you want to turn it off to save your battery life between rounds and stuff like that." And I'm like, you for someone like me, I have like ADHD. Like I'm gonna forget. Like so
Right.
I'd rather just like leave it on. And everyone's like, Hannah, turn off your GoPro. You're still recording. I'm like, well, I'm gonna forget to turn it back on, and then we're gonna miss all of what you guys wanted me to record.
Yep.
So like I need you to pick here. Do I just get like maybe an hour less of recording, or do I just miss it all because I'm gonna forget a little
Yeah.
button? Yeah,
I mean,
it's
for sure.
hard.
Well, setting it up is like angled it right and all that. It's like you have the app on your phone. You could do. It's kind of slow, especially if you
Yeah.
don't have real good service, whatever. If you're at the field, and it's difficult to do. We just put it on the widest angle, and then the same thing. Like so the angle's right. Make sure you turn it on, and then how many batteries you have with you, to swap out. Uh,
Exactly.
and these guys, they started wearing the portable chargers on the helmet. So they put a little pouch in the back of their helmet, run a
Valiant
portable
does that.
charger. Yeah,
Any Valiant? Yeah, I freaking love that idea.
yeah.
I keep trying to ask him, hey, dude, like, I can always forget to, because he's like, yeah, just message me and remind me. I'm like, what battery pack do you have? Because his fits like perfectly on the back of his dye mask strap, and like literally like
Okay.
meshes with the strap. I'm like, I need that battery because that's me. I don't charge anything. I'm terrible. I forget to charge my tracer. for my gun. And then I'll show up to N1, and thankfully they have like little outlets, and they'll have like the tracer cord, and I'll just be able to like, if I get there early enough, like charge it for a round, and by the time I'm done with that round, like I can put it back on. But that's definitely me. Like I'll
You're
own that one.
horrible.
I
You're
am
horrible.
terrible. I'm terrible. I'm literally terrible. Or the GoPro batteries. I had to get the little portable charging case because like I forget to do it while I'm at home, like I
Yeah.
do,
Oh
and
my
the
God.
it's terrible because like I'll charge it on the way to the field now because I live about 2 hours away from my home field. Like,
Oh
I,
shit.
yeah, so every weekend or whenever we have practice or tournaments or whatever, yeah, I make like a hour 45 average, but normally there's traffic because it's going towards LA.
Oh
Uh,
God.
yeah, because in one's up by El Monte, which is right on the outside of LA, so you're always hitting like that LA traffic, especially on the weekends. That's when we have
Yeah.
practice and everything, and that's always when the tournaments are, and just I just forget, like I really do.
Yeah.
It's a
Two
little
hours.
blonde
You're
moment.
where are you at? In like around Oceanside area?
Yeah, so I'm in Vista.
Vista. Oh yeah. I used to live there.
Cause I'm the Marine Corps, so I'm stationed at Camp Pendleton. So
Hoorah.
yeah, so I'm right outside the gate, and that's why I'm down here, um, instead of closer up there. It just makes more sense because like it's a 20-minute drive to work versus like living somewhere like in the middle, like Temecula or Wildemar,
Right.
and then you got like 45 minutes to an hour drive to and from work. And I'd rather not do that,
Oh
especially
dude.
since I gotta do that every day. So,
Yeah. I was at Pendleton. My last duty. I worked on Edson Range.
oh, cool.
Hmm.
That's really cool.
Right by Del Mar. So
Yep.
Del Mar was our hangout. Okay, because it was right around the corner basically.
Well, it's
And
also on the
because
beach.
yeah,
Yeah.
bro, for real.
The
Um,
Ramones there, you know?
for real. Like
That's
it was
top.
it was the shit, man, because it's like Del Mar is as far as Camp Pendleton goes, it's a huge base,
Oh my gosh.
and
Yeah.
that main entrance is right there,
Mhm.
and then you turn left, and Del Mar's right fucking there.
Yep.
And I mean, I can't tell you how many times I got drunk at Del Mar. No, I literally can't tell you because I don't remember. But we,
Yep. Every
oh
time we're
yeah,
over there, a lot of people do their promotions or word ceremonies over there on the beach,
yeah.
and then we always do it right next to Ramones. And the Ramones there serves alcohol. So it's like it'll be like a Wednesday, and we're like, "Hey, are you guys going back to work after this, or are we like, are we gonna stay here and drink? Like, what are we doing? How are we doing this?" And a lot of time we'll stay and we'll like freaking just start drinking at Ramones because like
Yeah,
they serve alcohol on the beach, and like you're on the beach and it's beautiful. Freaking, I love Del Mar. It's absolutely
dude,
gorgeous over
for
there.
real.
I'm unfortunately not. I go through the Santa Fe gate, so not the main
Oh,
side
okay.
gate. Yeah,
Right,
so I'm a little bit of ways from Del Mar is where I work,
right.
so I don't get to
Yeah,
work
yeah. If you
in
go
that
through
nice
that
area.
back, yeah. See, I went through when I first stationed there. Yeah, I was on base in the barracks, and then I got married while I was still in, and we got an apartment in Fallbrook. So
Yep.
it was. So I went through the naval. God, I can't remember the name of it. It
Mhm.
was an ammo dump,
No,
basically.
I know what you're talking about because they have that back road to get
Yes.
out through the Fallbrook gate,
Yep.
and they have that weird like guard box there
Uh huh.
that there's never a guard at. There's no security there.
Oh, really?
But
There
no,
was back then. Okay. Okay.
there's not now. Now what normally it is like that's like the on base police. We use that as like a speed trap.
Oh,
So that's what they do
Jesus.
now. Exactly. So
Okay.
because you're just like it's like curvy, whiny. Like there's really nowhere for cops to sit except for like
Yeah.
right there. And people are always getting pulled over there. Because I used to
Gotcha.
live in Wildemar. Well, my first 6 months out here in California, I lived with some friends, and I would come through the Fallbrook gate, and then in order to miss traffic on the way home, and you might not, I don't know the name of the road, but it's like these dirt back roads,
Mm.
uh, like leaving Fallbrook to head up towards Wildemar and Temecula. Like, there's no cell service. There's like, it's terrible because I blew a tire out one time
Oh shit.
while a car was like following me, and it was really creepy. It was dark outside. I was like, I'm not getting out of my car until this guy like drives away.
Right.
Yeah, it was like really creepy, but you don't have self service on those back roads either, so
Oh, that's wild. Okay.
yeah.
Well, see, I was there in '92, And so, well, when I lived in Fallbrook,
Mhm.
so I got stationed there in '91, and from came from overseas, and then went to Edson Range, stayed there until late '93. And now back then, when we drive through that back gate for Fallbrook,
Yep.
we were going through. The Navy had, it was actually a Navy run ammo dump or some kind of, I can't remember what the name of it was, but we had to turn. We didn't have cell phones. Uh, when I was in, we were still using the Prick 77 for our comms. Okay.
Yeah, we use the Prick 17s now, but like there's more
Okay.
advanced options. It's just Marine Corps. We still get like
The
the
hand-me-downs,
hand-me-downs. Exactly.
of
They're not.
course.
But it's like, oh, well, you can have these, but just so you're aware, these are 20 years old. The armies use them, the
Exactly.
navies use them, Coast Guards use them before you. But here,
No shit, right?
they're yours. Thanks, guys. It doesn't work. We'll figure it
Oh,
out.
that's so
Cool.
funny. Yeah. Yeah, we drive through there, and they would say when we go through the first checkpoint to go through this ammo dump thing, and we're like, make sure they would look in your car to make sure your car radio was off. You couldn't have any,
Really?
transmit any kind of
That's
signal or whatever. I mean, a radio doesn't transmit, right? It just receives signal. But anyway, because they had missiles in there, I guess. So that was the only thing that we had to, that they had to check.
they're probably concerned with it messing with whatever if they have like something going on like practice ranges or whatever if they're firing
Yeah,
missiles. I don't know if they thought like maybe the frequencies would mess with like whatever they were using to target like their targeting systems.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Uh, that's, that's
it
my
was
only
interesting.
guess.
Yeah, I remember when we first got married. I was telling my wife, I was like, "Hey, if you have to drive through here without me, make sure you know all the shit." I remember we were driving, and I don't know if it's still a thing, but you couldn't drive with your lights on or something like that on base. Like it meant certain things. Um, you couldn't drive with your running lights on. Oh, see, this is
Yeah.
obviously cars have changed a
Yeah.
lot in the last 30 years. So a lot of most cars have running lights,
Hmm.
daytime running lights. Well, back then, if you drove through the base with just your parking lights on or your running lights, it was they would pull you over. Some weird ass shit.
What was the reason?
I
That
don't
doesn't
know.
that doesn't make sense.
You
That's
can't
not
drive
that's
with your
not a
running lights,
thing.
okay?
Not a thing anymore. That's a
Uh,
weird one. I haven't heard that one before.
yeah, it's
I've heard
so
of
weird.
like the if you pull up to like the gate, you go to show your ID and your ID's turned upside down, how that like means like you're in danger or trouble or
In
something.
distress or something.
In
Yeah,
distress. Yeah, but I don't even think they follow that much anymore. Like if you
yeah,
pull up to the gate with the young guys that are at the gate and the card's flipped upside down, I guarantee you they'd have no they'd just be like, "Hey, can you turn this around for me?" Like
yeah.
they wouldn't even notice. And now they scan the back of the cards anyways, so they're not even
Oh, do
looking at
they?
the front. Yeah, they're not even looking at the
Oh,
front of the
okay.
card because they'll scan the back of the. You have like a little barcode there, so now they
Well, when
don't
I
even
would
look.
come in, when if that was a thing, we would have gotten fucked up because we drove through that gate so drunk so many times. That front gate, I don't even know if it's sideways, turn backwards,
You
upside
hope you're
down, like
handing them the right card at that point. You're like, this one might be it. It's got a picture of me on
exactly.
it.
Oh my god, for real. Yeah, they always let us through. Now there was a couple times we got up to, me and my buddies would get up to where we're kind of getting in line to get in the to get in the
Hmm.
gate coming out of Oceanside, off of Hill Street or something, and we're like, no, 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 turn around, turn around, turn around. We're not ready. We're not ready. We're slurring. We can't fucking find our IDs.
Someone's
we're
like
like,
dry heaving in the back of the car. Like
no shit.
that's my biggest. So whenever I like drive, because I've like picked people up at my like I've had friends like call me like, hey, I'm really drunk. Will you just like come take me back? I'm like, yes, of course. Like I'm happy you called me versus trying to drive drunk on a base and then
Right.
causing problems at work. And then they'll be in my car and they'll start the dry heaving. I'm like, don't, we're not doing this. Don't you fucking throw up on my car. Don't you do this. Because I don't care how over you are the next day, your ass gonna be out here cleaning it.
Oh,
I
for
ain't
real.
cleaning it. You're gonna clean it.
That's
Like,
right.
don't don't be throwing up in my car. And so I'll just be like pulling, and then it's always in those moments where you're like, all right, we gotta get through this gate quick. We gotta get through this gate quick. That there's a long ass line,
Yep.
and there's somebody at the front of the line that like doesn't have their cat card or is getting
Bro,
pulled over for something, and I'm like,
every
dude,
time.
seriously, every time, it's ridiculous. I'm like, the timing, awful, awful.
Yes, I know. Well, speaking of throwing them in the car, we had my daughter, my oldest, all of our kids are grown. My
Mhm.
youngest one's 21. They're out of the house and stuff. But my daughter, she went in the Air Force.
Oh,
But
cool.
when she was a
That's a good
teenager,
branch.
yeah,
That's where
I
all the
know.
money is.
For real. Holy crap, dude. When we went
She
to
goes
her,
somewhere, she's staying in a five-star hotel. When
yes,
you go somewhere, you're staying in a tent and
in
you're
the
digging
dirt,
and you're digging a hole that you're gonna use as the bathroom
the
for
shitter,
the
yeah,
entire time. Yeah.
that's right.
Yep. Sounds about
hmm
right.
We went to her boot camp when she graduated, and I was like, wait, where's her barracks? What? That is it? And we start walking over there. I was like, holy shit!
It's a resort.
It was awesome. It was so cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Good for
my
her.
first experience with that was when I went to Okinawa. When I first got there, the first couple weeks, the guys were like, "Oh, we got to go to Kadena Air Force Base to the Chow Hall," and I'm like, "All right, let's.
Okay,
Why?"
sure.
They're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "This food is good. You know, I don't give a shit. Whatever. Are we going out drinking or what are we doing?" And they're like, "No, we got to go over here and you got to go in." We walk in and it's fucking decked out. It really is like a five-star
Yeah.
restaurant. Like it was really pretty. It was they had people that like greeters in the front when you
At
walk in the front
at the
door
chow hall?
at the chow hall.
That
It
doesn't
was
make
all like
sense.
dim lighting. It was like mood lighting. They had this dark mahogany kind of like bench, booths and everything for the wood.
Okay.
um, I mean, it was really pretty, and they had two hot blonde chicks,
There you
at
go.
the front gate. I'm like,
Yep.
you walk in the front door, we're like, and of course, me and like five buddies, we're just
Hitting on the
fresh
hot
out of
blonde
boot camp,
chicks.
and yeah, this is our
Yep.
first duty station, and we just
Yep.
got in country in Japan, and we're like, well, hello.
I'm gonna start eating here more often.
Oh, can I? Yeah, can we come here every day? Like, but yeah, it was totally different kind of experience. Yep.
That's awesome. That's really
Yeah, it's
cool.
fun, really fun. But so I was looking at your Instagram, stalking you,
That's totally
and
fine.
it looked like you started out in the Navy, right?
Yeah,
Is that
so I
okay?
went to the Naval Academy,
Yeah,
and so
dude,
I
good for
grad
you.
it was okay. I graduated from the Naval Academy in 2019, and when you graduate from the Naval Academy, so all the services have a service academy, except like even the Coast Guard has a service academy, like, but the Marine Corps doesn't. So when you go to the Naval Academy, you can choose, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, why is the Coast Guard out doing? Anyways, love my coasties, but that's just branch versus branch. But when you go to
Right.
the Naval Academy, like you have the option when you commission, if you can stay Navy, which 75% of your class normally does. But they have like a quota where like about 25% of your class will commission to the Marine. My
Oh, okay.
dad was enlisted in the Marine Corps, um, and so he the entire time, like when I first started there, I was like, I'm not gonna go to the fucking Marine Corps like this, like that. I'm not dumb enough to do that to myself. Like no, I'll stay Navy.
Right.
We'll go be like a cryptological officer or some bullshit, and we'll be fine. We'll be chilling. And then you have military instructors while you're there, and I always got along more with my Marine Corps military instructor while I
Mm,
was there. So like whether it's the senior enlisted leaders or like the other officers, just because like they're funny as shit and they're blunt, and it just reminded me of how I grew up, like
right.
in my household. Like that's how my dad like. You go home with my family and you just get shit on immediately, but that's how like we show love. Like I'm so serious.
For
And like
sure. Yeah.
and my house like people just fucking start ground fighting and stuff like that. Cause like my brothers wrestled and everything growing up, and I did jujitsu for a little bit, and so we go home, and it was really funny because obviously my dad would like beat up all of us, right? Because he was older when we were younger. And
Yeah.
then when we started getting older, my brothers got really good at wrestling and all this other stuff, and we're getting bigger. And then we started like catching him in the headlocks and shit like that. And you just notice he stops like instigating it as much
Right.
because he's like, well, damn, I don't have the upper hand anymore. Like,
Uh-uh.
I'm getting my ass kicked by my kids. This isn't a good look. Um, but yeah, so while I was at school, I just kind of like gradually uh enjoyed my experience with the Marine Corps more. And I was like, well, I have to do. I'm a requirement of 5 years in the military. I'm like, I want to do something I'm going to enjoy. And so I was one of the 25% or part of the 25% that service selected Marine Corps and mission for when I.
Hell
It's been
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I didn't. I honestly didn't know somebody could do that. Like, I saw on your Instagram I saw your dress whites, and I was like, oh, Navy, okay, cool. And then, and then I saw you in the Marine Corps, the dress blues. I was like,
Mhm.
wait, what? What did I miss? And then, Naval Academy, and I was like, oh, I don't. I was enlisted as well, so I don't. I didn't know. Like, I knew a couple warrant officers in
Yeah.
the Corps, and I kind of learned the process of how they became warrant officers, but
Mhm.
I didn't know you could do like so when you enlisted in the Navy. Do you go straight to the academy? Is that what you did
So
to
I
to be an officer or?
yeah, so I didn't enlist in the Navy. So for
Oh, okay.
me, so how all that ended up happening, because I didn't have the intention of joining the military. I'll be the first one to say that. I have a twin brother, and he is like my best friend, right? And my parents like weren't going to be able to afford to pay for both, both of us to go to college, and that was going to
Yeah.
put either my brother or myself or my parents. It was going to put someone in like a lot of debt. And when you go to the Naval Academy, it's free, but you pay back in 5 years of service once you graduate.
Oh,
I was playing lacrosse and everything, and I got recruited to the Naval Academy for lacrosse. They were one of the schools looking at me for lacrosse. And when they explained to me like how it works, they're like, yeah, technically it's free, but you pay back in 5 years of service. I was like, well, this just makes the most sense for me and for my family, because then my parents, help my brother go to college and pay for college because he wanted to enlist in the Marine Corps, and he wanted to be like, I want to go get shot at. And I'm like, I don't I don't need that on my conscience. I don't need you going to get shot at. So we're
right.
both gonna get a degree out of this, and we're not gonna do that. So because I knew whatever I decided to do, it wasn't gonna be like, oh, I want to go, drop bombs and shit. Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm a cyberspace operations officer, so work with computers and stuff like that. Like that's what I enjoy doing.
Cyberspace. What?
Operations officer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I don't know if you still keep up with like the new MOSs and stuff like that, but it is one of the newest MOSs, the 17
Okay.
MOSs that they came out. It's like the Marine Corps cyber branch, because every branch has a cyber department. Like this is the Marine Corps
Okay.
trying to replicate what the other branches were doing, so
Right.
cyber and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, that's how I ended up there. Was like, hey, this is gonna work out best for my entire family. Like, I'm gonna go do this, and then none of us are gonna be in debt. And 5 years, it's gonna set me up really well. You end up with a degree. Like, I've
Yeah.
had great experiences. It's been fun.
So when you go there, do you have to go through boot camp first, or
We
you just go to college,
we call it
or the?
plebe summer. That's your boot camp. That's your
Oh,
intro from being a civilian into the military. And so when I went, this isn't a thing anymore, which I think is bullshit. But when I went, like all the guys, they shave their heads. When you get there, like the first day, all the guys have their heads shaved. All the girls, your hair gets cut. Like they
right.
bob your hair. They don't do that anymore for the females. They're like, oh, you can have long hair now. We don't care. I'm
Really?
like, yeah. I was like, this is not part of the tradition, and I had to do it. Like, that's fucking bullshit. I remember cutting my hair before I went because, like, as a female, you don't want to show up with long hair and let the barbers cut it because they're barbers. They're not like
Yeah, they're
female.
gonna hack the shit out of it, bro.
It ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work out. It ain't gonna look right. So I went to like a professional salon, had it cut prior. Even then, like all the girls, we all look like fucking little boys running around with our bobbed hair, and then it's like fucking afroing out and shit. You just look like a mess. You look like a little
Yeah.
boy. Like my classmates all told me, they're like, you look like a little boy. I was like, well, thanks, I appreciate that. Really, the self confidence there. But you go through 8 weeks of what we call plebe summer, which is like your typical wake up every morning at like 5. You guys go in PT. We had to run everywhere. You go after PT, shower for real quick, go to the shower hall. You have like only so much time to eat. Then you run up to your room, and that was
Okay.
like the worst part. Was like having I depending on like what company you were in, depending on where you lived. I lived on the top floor, like the third
Oh
deck,
Jesus. Yeah.
and so you're running up 6 flights of stairs to get to third deck after you just ate. and it was terrible. Like the first 2 weeks, you hear people like dry heaving in the stairwell. You're like, yep, don't think about it because that's gonna be me.
Right.
Like it was fantastic. Loved it.
Oh, I'm
Had a
sure.
fantastic time. It
Well, if
wasn't
you came out
terrible.
of if you came out of if you came out of high school, like you played sports or whatever in high school, right? You
Yeah.
said you played lacrosse. Um, yeah, you're probably in I mean decent shape, right? By the time you go to yeah, so you're the running's not too bad. Um,
No, it wasn't bad at all. Like, it's just interesting though, cause like they do weekly weigh-ins and stuff like that because they need to like for like health reasons. And
mm,
it's funny because all the guys show up like bulky as shit. They're all
yeah,
like, "How much muscle can I put on before I show up to this mer?" And I'm like, "You guys, we're gonna be running like 3+ miles every day, but you do you, homie." Like, okay, that muscle mass ain't gonna move as easy as you think it is
come on,
when
bodybuilders run.
when
What are you talking about?
yeah, well, there's running requirements and time requirements you have to meet. Like, yeah, you could probably meet 300 pounds and still run, but are you gonna meet that like time requirement for your
Bro.
PRT or whatever?
Yeah, bodybuilders do not run. I remember when I first got out, I went to the gym and I was trying to put on weight, because I had to stay within the
The height weight standard.
192 pounds for my height,
Yep.
and I wanted to bulk up. And so as soon as I got out, I joined a gym. I started, lifting, and I remember meeting this guy who was looked like a bodybuilder, and he was. And I said, "Hey, what do you got? What kind of tips you got?" And I would start my exercise, my routine on the treadmill or whatever, or if it was nice out, I'd run like 3 miles. That's what we run.
Yep.
And he's like, "Yeah, stop running." I was like, "Really?" He goes, "You ever see a bodybuilder run?" I was like, I
You're
guess
like, wait
not."
a second,
Yeah, like
maybe.
duh. He goes, "No, he burned too much muscle." I said, "Oh, okay." So yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, but yeah, these guys show up like you were saying, and they're probably bulked up as fuck, and they're like,
I've
"I
never
can't
heard
run two
people bitch.
miles."
I've never heard people bitch about like becoming smaller more than I did there. Like, oh my god, I've lost so much muscle mass, nah. And then you'll walk by their room like on the off time that you have, which is very little, and they'll be doing like push ups and shit. I'm like, that that ain't gonna help you regain the muscle you're losing because you're finally like you're doing cardio for the first time in your fucking life. Like, sorry.
Yeah,
And it's funny because all the girls we show up in the girls normally show up in fantastic like endurance running shape, right?
gotcha.
And then all the guys show up like fucking meatheads, or
Yeah,
majority of them do, not all of them.
yeah.
And then the guys are losing muscle mass, and they're because they're doing cardio, and the girls are putting on muscle mass. And we're all so it's like the girls are like, "Fuck, I'm gaining weight," and the guys are like, "I'm getting
I'm
small." Like
losing weight.
exactly. And so that it's like because the Navy has their own. While you're there, it's all Navy standards until like you graduate, and then you go to like the basic school. Like the officers go to the basic school in Quantico,
Yeah,
and that's when you are now held to Marine Corps standards. But the Navy still has height weight standards too, and so everyone's like the girls are like getting closer to their max weight, and they're like, "Oh my god, like we've got weigh-ins tomorrow morning. I can't eat till I can't stop eating after 7 because like I
oh
want
yeah,
to make sure I make weigh-ins." Like it was ridiculous. It's just a lot of stress.
right. Oh yeah. Well, lacrosse. You guys, did you play any sports that you had to kind of stay like watch your weight kind of thing
um,
before that?
like I've done jujitsu tournaments before, so like I
Yeah.
cut weight for that. It's kind of like similar for wrestling. Um,
Right.
and
Right.
then I grew up with like brothers who wrestled, so watching them
Okay.
cut
So you were
weight,
familiar.
I'm
Yeah.
very familiar with it. I've seen my brothers. Uh, there was always a tournament the weekend after Thanksgiving, and I'm a bitch. I'll be honest about this. This was one of the few moments I got to antagonize my brothers. So during Thanksgiving, they couldn't the Thanksgiving food. And
Oh
I'm the one
God.
at the end of the table just shoveling the biscuits, the
Oh yeah.
gravy, the turkey, and they're right here picking at the white meat on the turkey because that's all my dad will let them have. And I'm over here like, oh my god, mom, the stuffing is so good today. Like this is the best stuffing you've ever had. Like this is fantastic.
And they're smelling it and they're fucking
And,
starving. Yeah.
and I'm just like over here wafting it in their face. I'm like, oh,
Right. Right.
doesn't this smell good? I know you can't
You're
have it,
like,
but doesn't
yeah.
it
Hey,
smell good?
pass the plate in front of them. Like, Mom,
Yep.
can you put some more mashed potatoes on there, please?
Yeah, we're sitting at the table. I'm like, hey, Justin, you want to pass me the mashed potatoes? Like, don't touch them, but you want to pass me the bowl?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so I was like watch them like that always sucked for them. They freaking hated it. That and like Christmas, they
Oh
always had
yeah.
like a Christmas holiday tournament or some shit like that. So they were always watching what they ate, and it was so interesting because like during the off seasons, it's like when they're wrestling or when they're cutting weight, it like stunted their growth. It was like weird because on the off seasons when they're eating whatever the hell they want and they're eating and doing
Yeah.
whatever, my brothers would grow probably like 4 or 5 inches every fucking time. And
Yeah.
then
You know what? I've heard of
it's
that. Yeah.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. My twin brother, he's got like had the stretch marks on his back from just instantaneous like growth.
Right.
I was like, that is absolutely absurd, like
It's
crazy.
wild. Yeah.
They used to wear the trash bags, like sweat
Yep.
out the
Same.
day, wear you put on the sweatsuit and then freaking just hop on the treadmill. And so we had my mom hated it, but we had to move the treadmill over into our living room because my dad would have them in trash bags trying to cut weight, make weight on our treadmill as we're sitting on the couch watching the football game and they were running on the treadmill. We're like, yeah, this is a good game, right? How you doing, Josh?
Oh
Like,
my
what's up, Justin?
God.
Like,
Oh, that's
yeah.
wild.
So I never really did besides like the one jujitsu tournament I cut weight for, like I never watching them go through that was enough. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't need to make weight for anything. I'm good. I mean, I'm like have to make weight for the Marine Corps. Like
Right.
I normally tape because of the way my body shape. Like it's harder for me to make my max weight because like I'm a curvy person. For women, they want a very particular like body shape and body standard and whatnot. And
Really?
they're just redoing they're just now looking into redoing like the height weight standard for the Marine Corps because they're like so outdated and they're not
Hmm.
done right. And
Yeah.
so I'm like I'll make the fucking body fat percentage. I'll do that. But like you want me to be a twig, which I am physically incapable of being because of the way I'm shaped, and everyone's just
Yeah.
like, so it's like me and some of my other friends will be walking up to the office, get taped for like, hey, like how you doing? Like, fancy seeing you here again. Like every 6 months when we go up there to do it. So
You're talking about taped with they measure for body fat percentage. They still
yeah,
they don't have the calipers or whatever. They actually roll
they have.
your arms, your hips, your leg, and
So for the guys, they do and neck and weight. No, yeah, neck and waist, and for women, you do neck, waist, and hips.
gotcha.
And that's where I get fucked because like I have wider hips, and so it's like, well, whatever, man. Like, cool. Like I don't care. Like I'm not the ideal shape that the Marine Corps wants. Like cool, I don't.
That's
It
so
is what it is.
weird.
It is really weird. But
Yeah,
even
they didn't really have that when I was in like for the WMs. They it was just the weight standard.
mhm,
Yeah, like you did your PFT and you make weight. That they don't fucking care. That's it. And we had one of the girls in Okinawa. She was kind of short. She was probably like 5'1", maybe five
yeah,
foot.
if you're short, you're screwed. Like as a female, I'm
Yeah,
short. I'm 5'3".
yeah.
Like you're literally screwed.
Oh, and that's what she
Terrible.
was.
Yep.
She had the
The
they're
waist
not
and everything.
wide
Like
hips, but it was normal hips for
yeah,
a woman,
yeah,
and
exactly.
she didn't look like a long distance runner.
Yep.
So she had the normal shaped women hips, whatever. And she was, I mean, she never went over her weight thing, but she was always on the edge.
Yep.
And which I was too. I was on the edge too, but I wasn't. I was in really good shape. But I mean, you go out and drink all weekend,
Yeah.
and get the munchies, and you fucking stuff yourself from out in town, like in Okinawa, out in town, we're eating just Japanese junk food,
Yeah.
and then Monday you got piss test and fucking weigh in, and yeah, it's yeah,
Yeah, now it's
yeah,
like, hey, you need to meet height weight standard, and then they also do this thing. It's like you could technically be within height weight standard, but if you don't look like visually look good in uniform, they can put you on like that BCP, like that body program where
composition thing or something.
yeah, whatever. It's like the program that like they
We used to call
try.
them candy stripers, but I don't know. Yeah,
I haven't heard that term before. It's yeah, it's like I can't remember them any. it's like BCP or something. I want to say that's BCP.
Okay,
The
we didn't have that. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a program that if you don't look good in uniform or you don't make the height weight standard, you go on that program, and then they are required to show up for extra workouts, weigh you more. It's like, oh, here's your nutritional plan, blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
so I always felt bad for like people that like didn't like they could have made the height weight standard. It's like, well, you just don't look good in uniform. I'm like, that's such bullshit.
That's so weird. Yeah.
Like, can he can meet all the PFT and CFT standards or whatnot, and you're still gonna do this? Like, what benefit is this?
There's no benefit. There's no
Exactly.
benefit. It's if you the standard was, and it's always been, the tradition is you carry yourself like a Marine.
Yep.
Your character, right? Uh, you know, keep your bearing,
Mhm.
and then stick with. If you can pass the PFT,
Mhm.
you know, then you're fucking good. You pass the well, we had M16A2s back then, qualifying once a year, twice a year, whatever we did. No problem. Doesn't and they didn't care like male, female. We don't give a shit.
Yep.
This is your job. You fucking do it. That's it.
Like,
No,
meet the standard. Yeah.
there was no like talking back and forth. Guys would talk. You know how we do. Like,
Well, yeah,
you know,
typical Marines, like being
yeah, of
Marines.
course.
Yeah. I mean, everyone
Yeah,
does that. Yeah. But
yeah, absolutely.
the Marine Corps is changing a lot, especially recently. So they're working on their fixing like their height weight standards and stuff like that. This my he's he likes to sit in my lap whenever I'm at my desk. So we're
That's
just
cool.
yeah, he's a sweet. He's my little gaming buddy. Um, but they're also looking at changing. So you know how in the spring you do the PFT, in the fall you do the CFT. Well, they're looking at changing it to do a I don't know what they're trying to call it now, like a combination of the two, and then you're doing that same thing twice a year now. So they're gonna get rid of the PFT and they're gonna get rid of the CFT and they're doing something else. From what I remember, 2 mile run, 2 mile run, they're not push-ups, pull-ups, the plank, and there's something else in it. I
Mm,
can't remember what it is. But they're looking at changing that so that way you're training for like one physical event
gotcha.
instead of like cuz in typical marine fashion, everyone's going to cut like not going to lift where everyone's just going to cardio cut and run and everything for the PFT. And after they do the PFT they're like, "Oh, it's bulking season." Like, yeah. For the CFT. And so it's like cuz
Now,
then
what's
at
the
that point
CFT? I don't think we had the CFT.
so the CFT is so what is it? Combat fitness. So what it's called,
Oh, no, we didn't
or
have that.
we start with a half-mile run on the track in boots and boots. So that's timed. So you do a half-mile run. Then you go into ammo can presses. So you take a 35-pound ammo can, so it's filled with sand, and then you see how many you can like just overhead press in two
Yeah,
minutes, and then you do movement movement under fire. So it's basically suicides,
yeah.
but you start off laying on your stomach, and then time starts. You stand up, you sprint to the first cone, you go around the cone, you drop, you army crawl for like a certain distance, and then you cheetah crawl once you hit the next cone, which you look like an idiot doing it. Fine. And then you get up
Except from
and
behind, you look good. Okay.
yeah, exactly. That's all that matters, right? And then you pick up ammo cans, so then you have two ammo cans and you're carrying them and you do like a little zigzag.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember it all in order. And then there's a grenade toss. You have a dummy grenade, and you have to
Yeah.
toss it and hit it inside this box.
Oh, okay.
And if you hit it inside the box, you get 10 seconds off your time.
I'm already confused.
Exactly.
Holy shit!
Someone has to walk me through this every single fucking time every single time. Like, I'm not even
Like
kidding.
the Marines are accomplishing this thing because it's fucking confusing, bro. Can you
I
just point me in
per
the right direction? Tell me where to shoot.
Someone normally has to walk with me. Like, I have whoever's like running it for us. I'm like, you're gonna have to shout out what the next thing is because I'm gonna forget. And I'm sure that I probably just explained half of it wrong. Like, and that's not even half of it. Like, cause then
Oh
you do
my
ammo can toss,
God.
you push out 10 push-ups, and then you have a buddy who's got to be within 10 pounds of your weight, and then you pick them up, you drag them through the little zigzag, and then you buddy carry them. Yeah, you buddy carry them back to the start, and then
Jesus.
that's when you pick up maybe that's when you pick up the ammo cans, and you got to run all the way back down, do the zigzags, all this other shit again. And you come all the way back. It's just, it is ridiculous. It's
Bro.
utterly ridiculous. There's a bunch of stuff in it, and I'm sure I just said it all in the wrong order because, like I said, I normally have to have whoever's with me be like, "All right, next thing you're gonna do is buddy cam. Okay, I need you to pick up the dummy grenade and throw it. All right, we're gonna go through the zigzag again." And I'm like, I'm like, okay, cool. But
Holy shit.
I prefer the CFT more personally, just because you're normally done with it within like it's quick. It's literally
Right, it's
quick.
fast.
It's fast, and I prefer sprinting versus like long distance running. Like that's
Yeah,
just from sports. That's what I prefer to do.
sure.
Um, and because it's like you have a million things, like you kind of have to. You're so worried about like, oh, what's the next step, that you're not thinking about how much like how out of shape you are and how like out of breath or how heavy your partner is when they're like sitting on your
Yeah.
shoulders. You're just like, okay, what's the next thing I gotta do? So mentally, I like it better.
Yeah, I think running gets a lot of people. Long distance, running gets a lot of people. It's, and I mean, it's not easy. When you're not used to it, it's not easy.
Exactly. I used to do cross country in high school too while playing lacrosse,
Okay.
and uh I would literally, it's gonna sound so stupid. I just make up like fake little stories or scenarios in my head the entire time, and just let my body go into autopilot,
Yeah.
and then I'm like replaying a story or a movie or something in my head as I'm running, and the next thing I know, I'm like blinking. I'm like, okay, we're here, we're done. Like, cool. Like, but it's hard. So that's something that was very easy for me because like, and I didn't understand this, but not a lot of people can do that. I'm just like,
Mm.
oh, just think about something else.
Yeah.
Distract yourself. They're like, I'm just in so much pain, I can't distract myself. And that's that's something that like I didn't realize a lot of people struggled with, because for me that came really easily. Like,
Right.
just I grew up getting hazed by my father. Like,
Yeah.
that was my coping mechanism. Was like, okay, we're gonna do hill sprints. I'm gonna think of something else while I'm doing these. Like, so it was interesting to find out that like not a lot of people could do that because they're like, I just like can't breathe, blah blah blah. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you need to mentally pull yourself out of that.
Yeah. Once you get past that wall, where
Yeah.
you're once you get into your rhythm, it's God, it's so easy.
Hmm.
I That's one thing I really miss. I was talking with somebody, one of the podcasts I did in the last couple of weeks. We were talking about running, and I said after this illness, whatever, when I came out of being paralyzed, I think that's the number one thing I missed was running.
Hmm.
And I'm not a runner, but I miss the runner's high. You can't replicate it in anything you do. It's like you could lift and like even do like CrossFit type of thing. It's not the same. There's something for me. There was something so satisfying about getting in that zone, like you're talking
Yep.
about. I would really like. I wouldn't. I guess I never. Sometimes I don't even remember what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
I was just zoned the fuck out. Like just thinking of other things. My body was in autopilot. It was so smooth. I felt so comfortable. And then my kids, when I would take them running, I wanted them to feel that
Yeah.
and get to that point when they were younger. And most of the kids, my wife and I have 5 kids, and they were just, I think, not one of them could get to that point. They were, we have 3 boys and 2 girls, and my oldest daughter, who went in the Air Force,
Hmm.
she she was terrible
Oh no.
biomechanics for running. I mean, just heavy footed, right? And
Very
she was like
flat-footed
in good
running.
shape. Yeah, she was in good shape, but she would push through it. Like even in boot camp and stuff, she did really good times for her run. But it was she had to struggle the whole fucking time.
Hmm.
Like if she ran for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, it was like that. She never got that breathing rhythm down.
It's like
It was
30
just
minutes of just pain.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she has my personality type, so it's like kind of like fuck you, like she's
Yeah.
gonna
Like,
push through it. And she doesn't mind conflict, kind of thing. And
we welcome
and that
conflict. We welcome.
oh, bro, I love it. I love it. When we whenever we go out somewhere, uh, well back then, I remember I picked a fight with four Navy SEALs. Now we were out in Oceanside, right on the edge of like
My God.
Carlsbad. So we
Yep.
went to this strip mall right off of I think it's 72 is a inter not I-5, but anyway, um 78
I think it's
route
78. I think it's 78.
78. So there was this restaurant out there. I can't remember what it was. Carlos Murphy's was a restaurant out there in this strip mall. And Friday night we're fucked up as shit. Actually, I wasn't. We were drunk, yes, but we did Robo. So I went to Okinawa. I learned a bunch of stuff. Did peyote over there. Did acid. This guy was in our barracks was like, "Hey, you ever done Robo?" I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" He's like, "Robitussin." So you drink a bottle of Robitussin DM, okay, a little 4 ounce bottle. It gives you an acid trip for like 10 hours.
10
Now,
hours? Oh my god.
bro, bro, I'm
Oh my
telling you,
god.
we were
That's
doing the
too
moonwalk,
long.
okay?
Oh Jesus,
So
you're like in a different world.
it was great. So when I got stationed in Pendleton, I'm teaching these guys how to do. I'm like, do you guys do Robo here? They're like, what the
Oh,
fuck
you
is
brought
Robo?
it back.
Fuck
Oh
yes.
my
Oh
god.
yeah. So we all did Robo.
You're an
Okay,
officer's worst
and when we
nightmare.
go, and then we go, and it takes about an hour, okay, for it to kick in, and then we go to this Carlos Murphy's, get some shots, and we come out in the parking lot, and there's these guys out there, got the fucking tan shorts on with the, some, t-shirts, whatever, and they're talking shit, and I start talking shit back, and I'm
Typical.
just laughing. I'm
Yeah,
just laughing. Like I'm not
you're
trying to
just
fight, bro.
you're just
Like
chilling, yeah.
bro, I am not an experienced fighter, okay? I wrestled in high school. I got in a bunch of fights in high school, but not professional, okay? Like street scraps, And then,
Now you're about
uh,
to fight for Navy SEAL.
bro, and my buddies are like backing away from me,
They're like, we
and
don't know this guy.
uh, and they're
Bye,
like, we don't
man.
want to get involved. And then I finally pissed one of them off enough to where he came at me. I was pretty fast, to be honest. I ran through the parking lot, like in and out of the cars, in and out of the cars. Then they all four started trying to corner me, and I got away from them. They were like, they just started laughing finally, and we're just like, man, fuck this dude. He's just fucked up. But I was jumping around saying I was a bunny rabbit because I was on this robo shit. I was like, I'm a bunny rabbit. You can't catch me. So anyway, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Oh my god. I'm just imagining. That just reminds me, you saying I'm a bunny rabbit. Uh, just get like tripped a memory for me. So during at the Naval Academy, like during the summer, you don't get like your summer really. They send you different trainings. Your first summer after your freshman year, it's called young not plebe summer, youngster summer. It's been a while. Graduated a while ago. Getting old. Um, and they send you on a ship, and you do what's called youngster cruise. So you go to like a SWO ship or whatever. The ship I was with was doing like a casual mass casualty drill, and they let all of us that were just visiting be the casualty. And
oh
I
shit.
got I got the psychosis card.
What
So
is that?
so you like gave you like a card and said like what was wrong with you and how you should
Yeah,
act. Mine was I was basically I was this crazy person, and
because
so
I've heard the word psychosis, but I don't really know what it means to be honest.
well it was like or like psychotic, like you're crazy,
Psychotic.
like
Oh, okay.
yeah, psychotic's probably the better word. I'm sure
Yeah.
psychosis is not the right word. But I got like the hey you're gonna be crazy, just act stupid crazy.
Yeah.
I was like I've been
Like I
practicing for
fit
this.
right in.
Exactly.
Okay.
I was
Oh,
like
just be me.
I
Just
got
be me.
I got
Got it.
20 years of practice, bro. Like this isn't gonna be that hard. Everyone else is getting like these like surreal like fucking body gashes like put on them with like
Right.
makeup and shit like that because they was like they're actually practicing and I was like okay cool. I just remember running around because it was on the LHD, so it was a large like a not the aircraft carriers but it's a large deck
Yeah.
for aircraft, and I remember running around and being chased by what looked like this giant Russian man, like. And then he literally this giant individual losing his shit because like I was like I was in shape, like I was tiny, I was in shape, fast as shit, like running around jumping around, I'm like I'm a butterfly
Oh my
on the
God.
fucking ship. So that's what that made me think of, was like I literally just flashback to the moment running around like I'm a butterfly as this man's like chasing me, and they finally catch he catches me and then he sits me down. He's like, I will literally, like, we have zip ties. I will zip tie you. I'm like, let's not do that. And he had somebody stand next to me with their hand on my shoulder as I'm sitting on the ground. They made me sit on my hands, hand like hand on my shoulder, holding me there because I kept trying to like get up and like run away. Oh, it was one of the best
So you were
experiences
supposed
I
to
think I
play
had.
along and not be too crazy. You're supposed to be
Oh,
like the
I went,
practice dummy for these
yeah.
guys to practice their shit,
I'm sure
and
that
they couldn't
wasn't
catch you.
even. Oh, it was so funny. Literally, because I was like, tears running down my face because I was like, I know I look like a fucking idiot right now. This is so much fun, and like this giant man, he's trying to catch me, and it went from like he thought you could see it in his face. It changed. He was like, "This is
Oh yeah.
funny. Oh my god!" To like,
Right.
okay, like
Oh
put the
yeah.
book
Okay,
down.
she's
To
being
like,
cute. I got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
it went from like, "Oh, this is funny," to, "Okay, I actually can't catch her. Oh, she's taking this seriously. Fuck." Like it was so there was this giant ass man. That was just, oh, that was so funny. That was so
That's
funny.
hilarious.
It
Oh
was,
yeah.
and they asked me because they did another one at the end of that 1 month. Because you're with the ship for a month, they did one at the end of the month too. They were like, "So, we're gonna let you do this again. However, you're not gonna be the crazy person this time.
Yeah,
You're
yeah. They're going through the cards like,
yeah."
do not give her this one, okay?
They're passing him out again, and like,
Give her the sucking chest
we're
wound where
not.
she has to lay down and just pretend she can't breathe.
Yep, yep, exactly, exactly.
It'll
That
keep her mouth shut and her ass is on the ground.
Yep. I think I ended up like, you're missing a limb, so you're gonna sit there. And I'm like,
Oh, that's funny.
okay. Like I just, it was one of the best times I think I had on that ship. Oh, it's
That's
a core
cool.
core memory for me.
Well, I gotta say, you have when I'm scrolling through your Instagram today, and I was just kind of blown away by you have a very diverse back. You were into all kind of shit. You said you were in jujitsu. I saw that. Um, I didn't know if it was jujitsu. I didn't click on it, but it was, I saw the gi and
Hmm.
everything. I saw the lacrosse thing. Matter of fact, yeah, I saw the lacrosse thing. Uh, there was a bunch of other stuff. Of course, the military stuff.
Hmm. And
Like
I
you've
grew up,
been into
yeah.
a lot of athletics, like a lot of stuff. Where you're being very active or whatever for most of your life.
It was like a rule in my family growing up
Yeah.
that we played a sport every season. You didn't get an off season growing up in my house, and I'm actually very grateful for that
Right.
because I am a very competitive person, and sometimes like that's not a great thing. Like I'll own that. Sometimes I get too competitive. Sometimes like when I'm playing sports with people at work, like it's hard to like focus and just have fun
Yeah.
because my family was very like my dad was a very competitive person. Like
Yeah.
nailed that into us growing up. Like the whole I don't raise losers mentality kind of thing.
Sure.
And
If you ain't
I love
first,
my
you're
dad.
last, bro.
Exactly. Like my I'm a daddy's girl through and through. Like I love that man. He is. I am the female version of him, and
Yeah.
so it's like really really funny. Um, but we had to play a sport every season, and so I played. I grew up riding and showing horses. I played volleyball,
That's what it
and
was. Yeah. The volleyball, lacrosse,
cross
horses.
cross country. When I was younger, we
Holy
did
shit.
soccer. I've played rugby at the
That.
academy.
Yep. That was the other one.
Um, I did paintball for a very short period of time at the academy. I think I went to like two practices. Then you had to pay to go to each practice. And I was like, this is not worth it.
Yeah.
um, what else have I done? We did judo as a family. I did
That's cool.
jujitsu. Been like I'm dabbling in everything at the Naval Academy. You do wrestling, you do boxing. Um, for like a semester each. Uh, they force you to swim. Whatever. It's probably a necessary life skill, but like I'm not a fast swimmer. It's like, hey, I'll get from A to B. Just don't tell
Yeah.
me. Like, please. But you do that. Um, I like to sing. Like, I just have a lot of hobbies. I like to be busy. I rock climbed. With my ex-husband, like he got me into that, even though I'm scared shitless of fucking heights. Like, hate heights. Um, but I enjoy rock climbing now.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I like doing a bunch of different. I
yeah,
get bored easily, and so it's nice having a bunch of different hobbies. So like when you get bored, you're
right.
like, all right, let's do this for a little bit. Let's do this for a little bit. So that's how I keep myself like motivated and entertained, if you will. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's you know how that there's that saying people say whatever people just like they hate work. Oh, I hate work, and I'm like, bro, I hate boredom. Like, it's my fucking enemy. Like, 100%. I can't stand it. I will work 24/7. I don't care if I work overtime. I don't care. I will do something to not be bored. I
mhm,
just have to be on the go. And that's, yeah. And in fact, that's kind of where this channel came out of was uh, I was active my whole life, and then was paralyzed and just out of the blue. And when I came out of that, um, I needed something to do. So
yeah,
I started a couple YouTube channels before this one, then I started this one, literally just to keep from going nuts.
yep,
So and just about a year ago, started talking with people on here with the podcasts, and kind of made it an actual podcast. Like thought about it like that. Maybe 6 months ago, 7 months ago. Um, Yeah, and it's definitely one of my things. I love it. I really enjoy. I love meeting people
that's
in
awesome.
real life.
Yeah.
Um, so I do it on here, and it's cool. So I like making friends.
No, I get that. Like, it's a lot. And there are some people that like to like they have like one hobby and they do that for a really long time and they get burnt out and they don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah,
And I never want that to be me because I so for me for lacrosse, I played lacrosse for like 15 years, like straight. And
that's a
by the
long time.
time yeah, by the time I got to college, I was burnt out.
I'm
I was
sure.
so burnt out. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't enjoyable anymore. Like I wasn't having fun anymore. And that's a very like that's a very important thing for me is like I don't want to look at something that I used to love and think of it as a chore.
right.
So that's how I ended up getting into rugby and then we played volleyball at um like on their intramural team at the academy. Like I tried a bunch of different things at the academy. Like once
Yeah,
I cuz I played for their I was on their varsity team freshman year. After freshman year I was like I can't do this. Like yeah, academics are really hard as it is. Add a varsity sport on top of that, it's just a lot. Plus all the military stuff you had to do there, it just wasn't worth it. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this. And then I went and tried other sports, and I was really grateful for that opportunity to do that because it helps me stay in shape. Like I'm not a big, I'll go work out. I prefer to work out through sport.
right.
Like I have so much respect for people that can go to the gym and they just fucking every single day and they follow a workout plan and they do the same exercises and they're seeing muscle growth and all this other shit. And I'm like, you know what? Like, fucking respect to you. I, personality wise, cannot do that
Yeah,
because I would get so bored so quick. And there's also, for me, I need that competitive, like,
right,
what am I working to get better towards? Like for lacrosse, I'm out here training and practicing because I want to be like the best lacrosse player. I'm on the rugby field with my team because we want to be the best team, right? Because we're gonna go play other teams and represent our school. I
right.
need that competitive like motivation, and so it's like going to the gym and just working every day. It's like yeah, you're competing against yourself. Like I get that, but for me, it's like hard for that to be the sole justification. So I always
Yeah, it
use
is.
sports as my workout, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just how I've always been. I came out here and I joined an adult lacrosse league for a little bit, and I found airsoft, and I use airsoft as my workout as well as I play sports with my Marines at work
Yeah.
every day during lunch. So I'm like, oh, we're gonna go play volleyball today, guys. Like, let's go do this.
Oh,
So,
that's cool. Now, did you find airsoft through somebody at lacrosse?
um, so I actually. It was recommended to me by my ex-husband. He was my husband at the time. I was going through like a really bad depression. Like, not really sure. Like, w- work wasn't great. You know, felt like I was stuck in this monotonous kind of like routine. Like,
Yeah.
there wasn't a lot of excitement. I was bored. Like,
Mm.
and a bunch of personal stuff, like personal life happened. I found myself putting on a bunch of weight, didn't feel good about myself. Um, and I love video games, and I was like, okay, well, like my ex did airsoft, but he did outdoor airsoft, like the milsim airsoft,
Yeah.
which isn't so much my speed, just because like I don't like the idea of trekking 2 miles to go find somebody to get shot. Um, so it's like, yeah, I'm like I'm in the Marine Corps. I've done the wrecking. I don't need to do that for fun. Like,
Right.
so I went on. He was like, well, why don't you look to see if they have airsoft field? And so I was like, okay, cool. I was like online. I was like googling like indoor airsoft because like I was like I don't want to do the outdoor milsim stuff as. And I found Project in One, and I was like, yo, that looks cool. It's like close quarters combat. Like,
Yeah.
yes, this is what I want to try. Went out there, absolutely fell in love, had a blast. Um, and I talked to people that were there the first time I showed up, and they were like, you could tell you just like this was for you when I showed up that first time. They were like, you could just tell how happy and how good of a time you were having. And I've met some of my best friends like through airsoft. And it was just kind of like that community that like helped pull me out of my depression,
Mm.
you know, helped me feel motivated about life again and all of
Yeah.
that. So it was I owe a lot to airsoft community. I'm very grateful for
Yeah.
all of my friends and for like the community at Project in One because like everyone there is so close, and I love the environment there because like everyone's just there shit talking each other, and makes me feel at home because like
Right.
that's how my home life is, right? And so I don't know, it's just really really nice, and I literally just found them on Google. Cool, we're gonna go try this,
Oh my
uh,
God.
and then fell in love. So
You
now
went
we're
there.
here.
Yeah, and you went there the first time by yourself.
No, my ex was out here, and I went with him. And then while he was out here for a week, went with him, forced him to go back with me a second time while he was here. And after that, I've been there by myself ever since.
Okay.
Yeah, just make the drive and show up. And now I like know everybody there. I'm also a very like outgoing personal person, so it's like I'm like, hi, like I'm Hannah, like nice to meet you, like how long you been playing yourself? Um, I just like to meet people, so
Okay.
yeah, it's been fun. I
Yeah.
love
That.
that.
Well, there's been most people I've talked with, they they go their first time with someone,
Mhm.
that got them
Yeah.
into it or whatever, or talk to them about it, and yeah, and then there's been a couple people that have gone, by themselves, and I've really found that if somebody goes, whether it's with somebody or not, if somebody goes to the field and they have this, you can have the best game, right? Like you had
Mhm.
fun playing, but if that person didn't have, it's their first time, if they didn't have that like meet, the community part,
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, it was okay, whatever. But the people that really, and majority of the stories I've heard are, people get sucked into it because of how welcoming everyone is when they first go,
Exactly. Yep.
and it's so different than most other things. Um, I feel like it's like, when you're in sports in high school, it's like, you join the team,
Mhm.
like that's a choice, that's an option, whatever. I mean, that's your choice to join the team. But once you're on the team, it's like everyone knows like what's expected. Like we're all here,
Yeah.
and the coach is, it's just it's a different environment. There's that animosity sometimes within the team, and
Yep.
it's like, you don't have a. It's not like you walk in the locker room the first day and everyone's like,
Oh
"Oh,
my
look at the
god,
new player!
hi!
Hey, welcome this, welcome."
That's
Just
the
no.
best. Like, oh my
Like,
god.
"Hi,
Let me
Hannah.
let me do your
Oh, this
hair.
is Hannah. Look." Like, dude, they're like, no one talks to you. You're just like,
Everyone's
fucking,
like,
you're,
Who the fuck is this
Pick a
next to
locker over
me?
there, like away
Yep.
from mine, bitch. Okay.
Oh my god, yeah.
So,
No, like actually, especially in female sports, you would be surprised. I feel like in male sports, cause like I played male lacrosse in middle school. Like I played on my twin brother's team,
yeah,
and when I was younger, I was on the boys team for soccer, just cause it's easier for my parents, right?
yeah,
But like boys teams are so much more like for they're just so much more accepting of people like on
yeah.
the team, whereas girls are so like girls sports teams like are so petty and catty, and I'm just like this is
Judgmental.
like why? It's like, honey, I'm not here to steal your boyfriend, okay? I'm
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
here to play lacrosse.
Jealous, judgmental.
Exactly.
Like,
Like it's like just chill. I just need you to
yeah.
pass me the ball on the field, okay? We don't gotta
Right,
be
right.
BFFs. Like that would be
I'm
fantastic.
only here to play this game.
Exactly. Like that would be
Yeah.
fantastic, but like I don't,
That's not
no.
my goal. My
Exactly.
goal is to play this sport, and a bonus would be if we become friends. But whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Like that's not a
yeah,
requirement. Whereas like in order for you to have fun at airsoft, a good community is like a requirement at that point. Like
yeah.
if you show up and you don't feel welcome there, you feel uncomfortable, you're not going to come back
No, you'll
because
go somewhere else.
especially because it's a sport that like when you get hit, yeah, it hurts a little bit, right? Like
Yeah,
you gotta the benefits have to outweigh the negatives, right? And it's like having a fantastic community is a huge benefit that is going to outweigh almost any negative. I make
yeah,
that hour and a half to 2 hour drive, even when I'm sick or can't play, just to hang out with people. Like, I will go and do that just because, like, I am a part of this community now. Like, I go and I help, and, like, one of the things I love, especially at in one, is when we see like little kids there and they're like rentals or something, someone on the field always, without a hesitation of a doubt, will literally on like depending on what team they're on, take that little kid under their wing and are
hmm,
coaching them during the game. Like I freaking love that.
yeah.
Like I've had little kids come up to me with like their rental guns. They're like, it's not working, and I'm like, oh my god, like let me take care of you, please. I'm like, you just stay behind
Okay,
me.
don't
I'll
cry. Don't cry. It's
right?
okay.
I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, you can use me as a meat shield. It's fine. Just shoot under my elbow. I'll take all the BBs. Like Mama Goosing it a little bit, but I just
Oh
love that.
yeah,
I love that community there. Like Eddie does it a lot too. Like whenever he sees rentals, he freaking like shows them how to play. Like, and a lot of people at N one do that.
yeah.
That's what I absolutely fell in love with the community. Like when I showed up, that's what people are doing with me. Like they're like,
Right.
hey, like I see you're using a rental pistol. I'm like, yeah, this is my first time playing airsoft. Ma. And they're like, okay, well, this is what you should do. And so many people, like the people that work at In One, like my teammates, like give you tips and like they give you tips and tricks just because they're like, here, like let us help you get better. So ultimately, you don't get shot as much.
Right. Yeah, and
And
you have
it's just
fun.
exactly, and it's just fun, and you feel relaxed. I will go to airsoft, and anything that was on my mind or bothering me, just like it flutters to the wind, like it's completely gone.
Mm,
I don't
yeah.
even worry about it until I'm driving home, and if it's something I need to worry about, I'll worry about. But so we're back in that car for that long ass drive, like.
Oh
But
yeah. My girlfriend, she's my wife now. My girlfriend at the time, she wrote me every single day
oh,
I was in Japan. Every fucking day.
that's fucking cute. Okay, I'm just saying
Bro,
that's
no, it was awesome.
fucking
It was awesome.
adorable, and also good
It
on
was,
her. The amount of work, like, good
dude,
for her.
every day. And she was going to
Good for
Kent
her.
State. She was at Kent State University in Ohio. Her and I grew up in Cleveland area, Akron, Ohio, and
And
we
you
live in
wrestled
South
in
Carolina.
Ohio?
We're in South Carolina now. Been
Well,
here
when
for,
when you
oh,
wrestled in high school, you wrestled in Ohio?
yeah,
Very competitive in Ohio.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's like one of the wrestling states.
Dude, we had, we won state. I don't know how many. Our school, our high school won state. I don't know how many years in a row. We had all those flags, those banners hanging up. Yeah.
Sorry,
I
not to
never went to
deter your
state.
not
No,
to
no, no,
deter your
no,
story.
no.
Just
It's
that like I was like Ohio wrestling.
oh
Like,
yeah. Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I broke my nose 8 times when I was wrestling there. I had the one season I had to because of crossface.
mhm,
I wouldn't let them crossface, so they would just bring that bone across and
Ross, yeah.
I would just hold stay. I wouldn't turn my head, so my nose would go. But
Ugh.
That my last season there, I had to wear a mask. They made me wear a mask because my bridge of my nose was so
Oh,
broken. If I sneezed or if I coughed real hard, or we would start doing, running or anything where I was bent down and like, push up or halfway through a wrestling match, my nose would just both sides just gushing all over the mat. Um, they thought I was gonna have to get cauterized, so they made me wear a mask. It was fucking horrible. It was, it's big.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. I've seen
Yeah,
wrestlers wear it. I've seen it a couple times.
yeah, to protect my nose.
Yep.
But anyway. But yeah, I had a great time there. But yeah, my wife and I, it was,
That's how you do long distance, though.
that's what it was. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
I got you.
Yeah, well, I think I wrote her maybe 3 times while I was in Okinawa, and she would call me. Now this is 1990. Okay, so we had MCI long distance cards that you had to punch in a number or whatever to make a long distance call. And the first minute was like $12, and then it was like $1 every minute after that. Her phone her phone bill was like $300 a month or something. Her home phone bill. Her dad was pissed
You can't say she didn't love
because,
you.
oh dude, um, and then and I would literally fall asleep on the phone.
Oh,
So because I'm drunk as shit.
oh,
So
less
go.
all, less all now. That's
No,
funny.
no, it wasn't. Hey, let's fall asleep. Kind of like talking to each
Yeah,
other.
I
No,
thought
no,
that's what
no,
it
no.
was.
She's talking, and I'm going. I'm passing. I'm literally drunk, passing out. Okay.
She's like, "Are you snoring right now?"
Yes, exactly. So
That's
yeah,
fucking hilarious.
that's how we. And when I went to Okinawa, I said she was at Kent State, and I said, if let's just keep an open relationship. Let's not be boyfriend and girlfriend when I go.
Fair.
Let's just because we're fucking 19. Like we don't know. You're going to college. She's living on campus. Go party, go
Yeah, she
drink and
wants to
have fun.
experience life. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. And I feel like, personally, and I taught my kids this too, like, or you kind of didn't teach them, but, just this idea that be open, be free, explore. Like, sex is not bad, okay? It's okay to go experience other people. Um, and that's what we did, and that was, and I said, when I come back, if we want to hang out, then we'll hang out.
yeah.
And she was
That's like
like,
a
yeah,
very
that's
mature way to
good.
do it.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. That was like our one mature moment, okay? And then,
Then you come
so,
back and you're like, "I can't stand
oh no, I came back and I was like, hell yeah, let's go. So,
you."
well,
Aw.
the other thing too is when I feel like I'm not trying to be sexual or whatever, but what I feel like if you have sex with a bunch of different people,
Mhm.
try like relation, just be with a bunch of different people. It doesn't have to be sex, but that's one thing that when you get a really good idea of the chemistry with somebody. And if you don't
Definitely.
have that chemistry, you're kind of fucked. Like you can have all the other check boxes, ticked off, but if you don't have chemistry, it's going to be a very analytical kind of relationship.
Yep.
And if you don't
Just
have
like a
that
sport.
fucking, yeah, dude, it's boring, right? Like you
Exactly.
gotta, and sometimes that when you do have chemistry, if the sex is good, sometimes the other stuff ain't going to be that great.
Yeah.
But you can make it work because the sex is so good. You know what I mean? So my wife and I weren't perfect for each other, but it was that part that kept us together. And when we started having kids, we both wanted kids. And like what you were saying earlier, if you don't want kids, that's a big, that's a deal
Yep.
breaker for most people.
Yep.
Religion, kids, and I guess
Sometimes
maybe
politics.
politics or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
those three things um, can depend on how strongly you feel about them. Those are deal breakers sometimes, for sure. But it's and then of course, how close are they with their family? Like if these guys that I've had friends that the guy was just couldn't cut the mommy ties, bro. Like that's
Yeah.
I can't handle that.
Ugh,
Like
I had an ex like that. yo, his mom was more involved in our relationship than he was.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
just like,
I've
dude,
heard of that.
every time we have a problem, why are you going to your mommy about it?
Oh, I can't
Like,
stand that.
be a fucking adult. Let's be an adult. Like,
Oh.
why is your mom hitting me up right now? For saying like, "Hey, I heard you guys got in a little scuffle. Like, I just want to make sure you're okay." Like, yes, that's
Oh,
very sweet.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
super sweet. Thank you. But then texting him, I was like, "Really? We went to your mom again? We fucking talked
Oh,
about this. Like, let's be adults and fix
no.
our own problems. Like, mommy ain't gonna save you the rest of your life. You fucking." And he was like, "A single child, silver spoon." I was like, "You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. With your upbringing too, like the way you grew up, that doesn't mix well, I'm
No,
sure.
it drove it fucking like they his mom would reach out to my mom all the time and be like trying to talk about like mine and his relationship, and she'd be like, "Bitch, like I let them have their relationship. Just let
Right?
them have it."
Yeah.
And then my mom's calling me. She's like, "You need to cut this. Like, you need to talk to him because I'm tired of talking to this woman about y'all's relation. Like, just fucking go be in a relationship. I don't need to be in it." I was like, "I'm not trying to
Yeah.
put you in it. It's not me. Like,
Right.
that ain't on me. Like,
Oh, Jesus.
it was. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so much
that's
work.
fun.
Like emotionally draining.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like going back to what you said. Like when you date and experience other people, it's you also figure out what you like and what you don't like,
Right.
and then you can recognize signs like that a lot earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like
Yep.
if whenever I decide I want to date again, like if I see that, if I even see a hint of that, I'm like, this ain't gonna work out.
No.
I wish you the best.
Yep.
Tell your mom I said hi. Thanks for dinner. Bye. like
For real. Yeah.
that
Well,
that.
there are some red flags like that to look for that are
Mhm.
pretty obvious in those kind of
Yeah.
things. Yeah, and that's definitely one of them. I feel like kids, teenagers. I mean, actual kids. Like minors. I'm not talking like
Like
most people
children.
today talk like they say kids, and then they go, and I'm like, oh well, how old? Who's this? And they're
And they're
like,
like
oh,
18.
this like 22-year-old. I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro, it's not a kid. Stop saying kid. uh,
Right.
Make your kids grow up when your kid should be, taking care of themselves by the time they're like 10. Okay.
Yeah. They should know how
Like,
to
what the fuck?
they should know how to boil water
Yeah.
or like
Or
make an
call
egg
911 or
or
fucking put a fire out in the house.
they should be able like, to have the skill to talk to somebody on the phone. Like
Mm-hmm.
like and I
Right.
know people that are older and they still have that like are in mid-20s, still have their parents make their doctors for them. I kid you not. I was like, "You are motherfucking 24 years old.
Oh,
You were
Jesus.
calling mommy to make you a doctor's appointment because your throat hurts."
Oh my God, that's fucking weird.
I kid you not. It is the what
It's
they
so
told me.
weird to
Then when I
me.
told they were like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling well." I'm like, "Oh, we'll go to the doctors." They're like, "Yeah, my mom made an appointment for me."
Ugh. That just grosses me out hearing it.
I'm like, "Your your mom made you a doctor's appointment?" They're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Why didn't you just make the doctor's appointment?" "Oh, I just, I just
No.
she just knows how to
Uh,
do it." I'm like, "You need to know how to do it."
right.
like that's an important skill. Like you need to be able to
Duh.
talk to people on the phone. Like and I'm like, "Hi, bud." I'm like I don't always enjoy like calling to talk to people on the phone either, like but if I'm sick or something, I know I have the capability of doing it, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah, I mean, in life, you got to do certain things that you don't like sometimes. You
yeah,
know, that's
exactly.
called being an adult. You know,
Right? Or pay your own fucking bill. Like
bro.
get off mom's phone plan, homie. Like we
Oh
are
my God, it's
adults.
so weird that so many people are like that now. I got kicked out of my house. I was 17. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying like, bro, I wanted to cut the ties. Like, I couldn't stand just being. Look, I couldn't stand being told what to do, so I joined the Marine Corps. Okay.
Right? Right? And then you're like, well, this
Oh
is
my
so much
God.
fucking worse. It's funny because my mom is kind of like, I love my mom to death, but she's very much that type of person that like, she wants her babies to still live at home.
Sure.
She still wants her babies on the phone plan. And I remember it was like, yeah, I'm getting my own phone plan. She's like, why? I was like, well, I am like 22 years old. I I make decent money. You know, I think I can afford to pay my own bills. She's like, but you don't need to. I was like, I do, but I do. Like, yes,
Right.
I really do need to. And a lot of people are like, your mom just offered to pay for your phone, and you're gonna say no. I'm like, well, it's like out of respect for myself and for her, right? Like, cause that doesn't you
Like,
can't
do
lie.
people nowadays, like young adults, like in 19, 20, ever do they even know what dignity? Do they know what that is? Like the self-respect thing? Like what is it? Where do they draw the line?
I think it's
Like
funny because they like to sell it as like, oh, it's just me being financially responsible. I'm like,
what? That's not.
no,
No, it's
because if
not.
you were financially responsible, you could afford to pay your own phone bill. But you're not
You're a
financially
burden on your
responsible.
parents still.
Exactly. It's like you're not financially responsible, which is why you still have to be on your parents' phone bill because you decide it's a fantastic idea to go and drop fucking $800 on whatever that you're gonna use twice and then you're never gonna fucking use again and whatever.
Yeah, and when you make your own money and you do that and you pay all your own bills, then at least you can just blame yourself.
Exactly.
Okay?
I mean, I still look at like when I pay rent and then I pay my phone bill and my car insurance and my car. I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ, like, oh my God, when I get out of the Marine Corps, I need to get a good paying job because
No shit.
uh, this is this is rough. It's expensive out here. Cali ain't cheap either, and
No,
so
Cali is not cheap.
it is. Oh my God, it's
Well,
ridiculous.
so you're in that area. Yeah, that's Project N1. Uh, you who plays there that I've had on the podcast? Sam,
Sam
Airsofter
plays
Sam.
there.
Do you play with? Okay.
Storm plays
Yep.
there. Sam's actually the first female airsofter I met.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I freaking love Sam. I love
She's
her
awesome.
so much.
Yeah.
She's so freaking sweet. And I love what she's doing for the community, and she brings a lot of mental health awareness to it
Right.
too, which I think is, like I said, airsoft brought me out of my depression. It's literally the
Yeah.
reason I like something clicked, and I was like, wow, like I need to make some changes, right? And so she brings a lot of awareness to that, and I freaking love that. And she's just such a positive and uplifting person. I know you've also had Storm on here, Eddie. Yeah, they all play at Project in One. Can't think. I'm not
Yeah. A
sure.
lot of those guys kind of travel up and down.
Yeah, yeah, they like play
I've
everywhere.
talked to so many people in that area. Since I started these, there's a lot of fields. There's a lot of people playing out
Yeah.
there, and it kind of snowballed. Like once I started talking with, you know, I can't remember who the first Californian, like SoCal person I talked to out there, but Sam was definitely one of the first when I first started. And then just it's like as I'm talking with somebody, they'll tell me, "Oh, do you know this person?" Or "I play with this person." Or, "I met this
Mhm.
person." Right? And then like, "Oh, who's that?" And then they'll send me. I just got a text tonight, right before we started, from a guy I talked with in Utah. He's like, "Oh, two of my buddies want to be on the thing. Here's their Instagram thing, whatever." I'm like, "Okay." So it's just like all these. So now I'm like
Awesome.
5 people in Utah. It's like 20 people in California because they're just
Tell their
like
friends.
telling me
Yeah.
about them. It's cool. I love it. I love it. But
That's awesome because like
yeah.
I didn't realize that airsoft was a huge thing in California until I started playing, and I haven't even been playing for a year yet because I started last March.
Okay.
And like the amount of people that I've met, oh my God, the amount of people that I've met, he's just he's clingy as fuck.
He's a
Um,
big boy.
he's a big cat, and he's just a lover. He's literally just sitting here licking. You're you're a chonker, but you need to go lay down. Um, as look, see, just that's
Look at him.
he's more dog than cat, and my dog, that's my dog back there, Athena. She acts more like a cat than a dog, so it's like
Yeah.
they like
Haven't moved.
swap personalities. Yeah, she's knocked out. She's dead to the world. And then this one's just being fucking weird. Oh, look, she heard me. Um, and yeah, like I didn't realize how big it was, or that there was like a competitive scene for it,
Hmm.
which is really cool. Because like I said, I like having something
I
to
was gonna ask you about that.
compete in.
The competitive stuff. So when you play. You said earlier you had kind of like sometimes I get too competitive. Is that
When
more?
I
Does that happen with airsoft sometimes?
when I first started, I gotten a lot better. It's
Gotcha.
something I've worked on like the last several months. But I got a lot better about it. But when I first started playing, hard, right? Because there are certain individuals that you're shooting them and they're like, I'm not getting
It,
hit. I'm like, well, my GoPro says it, but okay. Um,
so
and
coming out of a sports background, like competitive sports background with like high school and stuff,
hmm
where there's actual rule, there's rules that, uh,
you have a
and there's refs
referee.
on the field. Like
Yeah.
there's, everything is obvious. If somebody does something wrong,
hmm
obviously once in a great while things get missed. The real blatant stuff gets caught usually.
Yeah.
So there's, the with airsoft. God, I wish there was a way to fix it besides paintball. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they're
Because
trying with the tracers, right? So that way you can see if shit's
yeah,
bouncing off of someone. And I feel like that's why a lot of people go now with GoPros is
yeah,
to be able to say like, because I've seen a bunch of people do this, like, hey, and I mean like I said, I've gotten a lot better about it, and now people like pull up like the GoPro footage on your phone, like we were talking about earlier, and they'll be like, yeah, like just your tracking, dude. Like maybe be a little bit more spatially aware. Like people were hitting you here, you can see it in this
mm,
video. But you just don't want people to like call you a cheater, and you don't want people to like. I used to be like, yeah, you're a fucking cheater. Like when I first started, like I don't fuck with you, like whatever. But now it's kind of like, well, now it's kind of like I've been playing it long enough, like sometimes you feel it and sometimes you don't. Like you get caught up in your head. And now some people
right,
like people wear plate carriers and shit like that. Like obviously they're not gonna feel it if you're hitting a plate carrier. Like let's be real, right? Like I get that.
yeah,
And then everyone's like, well, don't you know? At in one they'll make the announcement, hey, like if you're wearing a plate carrier, try to listen for it. And then you're trying to hear over everyone shooting and then people giving call outs and like you're not gonna be able to hear it either. Like let's be real. And so
yeah,
when I play like in my sweatshirt and pants, or I'll play in a t-shirt and pants. So that way, if I get hit, like I should be feeling the sting of it, like
right.
that way. Because, like I said, there's probably every single airsofter player at one point in time has probably been hit and not called it,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
like
Like that's
whether on purpose or not. And
right.
it's just a matter. It's just like just a part of the sport. It's not that big of a deal. I don't make a big deal about it anymore, like I used to, because like I said, really competitive. I have a really competitive mindset, but this is something that I've been working on, not even just in airsoft, but like in life. Like even when I go and play sports at lunch with my Marines, like not everything is about like winning. Not everything is about like being the best at something. Like
Yeah.
you need to be able to sit back and enjoy what you're doing and enjoy life. Like life is too short, like to be so fucking worried about like someone not calling their hit.
It's
Like
it's got to be a hard thing to do though, right?
it
Like when you're competitive,
the mind
it's
shift it took a
it's
while.
not it's not just the competitive. It's not just the sports. It is, right? It's the especially when you are like that already.
Mhm.
Maybe the personality type
So
is
hard.
like that, and then you're in all these competitive sports. You like pushing yourself.
Mhm.
You like being better,
Mhm.
and you like your team being better. You don't like
Yep.
being on a losing team.
Yep.
And this is kind of ingrained. And then the Marine Corps, like,
Yep.
bro. And then you get, you kind of, how do you turn that off? It's really difficult. I had the same thing when I got out. It was, especially, I'm going to tell you, with the kids, as our kids were growing up, I think that's where I really, because I would try to hold, like, I was really overbearing, when they were, uh, well, when they were young, I wasn't so much. I mean, I would hold them to a standard, but they, we had a lot of fun time along with, hey, you do your shit, okay? Take care
Yeah.
of your shit is what I would
Exactly.
tell them. Not when they were little. I didn't cuss at them when they were little. I only started cussing at them when they were teenagers because they were fucking around, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
don't do you didn't do your homework for fucking a whole week, and we get a letter from your teacher. If we get the letter, you're fucked, okay? You get, so,
The note in the planner on the way home, right?
dude,
And they're trying to white it out or scribble
like
it
how
out.
many
I've been there.
times?
I've been there.
I did
Multiple
too.
times.
Shit, I got expelled out of. I missed Yeah, I got expelled for half a year, um,
Gee.
my senior year. Well, I welded the principal's door shut, so she didn't like me. She pissed me off, dude.
Hey, if
Uh,
you're gonna get expelled, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. That's
it was
pretty funny.
awesome. Like I would take it every day. I don't care. But the thing, I'm going to tell you where I messed up. So that was the last time I broke into the school, and I got caught. I broke into the school 7 times before that, maybe 5 times. One time I broke in. Now this is I don't know how the bells are now, but back then they had the big steel round bells in the hallways,
Hmm.
and it goes off. Well, inside there's a hammer.
And it just hits it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I took all the bells off, like the housings. So there was just a little box.
So you just saw the little thing moving.
Yeah, a little hammer going. There's no noise. So I snuck in. I did that by myself. I snuck in by myself. There was a window that was the lock was broken. It was on the second floor. You had to shimmy up this building. And anyway, I was in good shape. I was in wrestling, football,
You're
and all
like,
that shit.
ah,
So
piece of cake.
yeah. Well, I did not like being at home. I was rebelling. My parents were really being overboard with this church stuff. We were going to church like 4 days
Oh.
a week,
Oh yeah. That'll
bro.
do it. That'll do it.
Um, so
That
anyway, so I
that'll
would
happen.
sneak out at night. I didn't need a lot of sleep. I only needed like 2, 3, 4 hours sleep. I didn't care. I'd stay up
Hmm.
till parents go to bed. Bye. I'm out. I'd sneak out. And so anyway, I went up there, and all these other times I went in there. So I did the bells one time. It was in the local news. Like, oh, somebody stole the. I didn't steal them. I
Robert
just
steals bells.
yes, I dumped them in the trash cans at the end of the hallways. Like I didn't take them. What am I gonna do with those? So I just wanted it to where, one of those scenes in a movie where we're all standing around in the hallway waiting for the bell to ring for the first class, and everyone's like, "Wait a minute, what?" We didn't have cell phones, so everyone's looking at their little calculator watch, okay? And we're like, everyone's looking around. I never told anyone. I didn't do it for bragging rights. I'm not to
You
this day.
never
Nobody
wanted
knows who
chaos.
did it.
You just wanted chaos. You
I
just
would love chaos.
and that's
Yes.
I'm the same fucking way. I just so as someone so that going back to like what we were talking about, right? Like that mind shift it was has been and I'm still working on it. There's still moments I like triggered instantly, but
Yeah.
I've taught myself and I've trained myself to have a mental conversation with myself. It might sound crazy, but this works for me, you know. I literally
You
talk
have
to
to.
myself in my head. I'm like, why does this matter? Does this actually affect you? No. Is this hurting you? No. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, whatever. But like, as somebody who's super competitive, I don't
Yeah.
mind confrontation. If you want me to be honest, I welcome confrontation.
Oh,
That is exciting.
all
To
the
me,
time.
that is fucking exciting. You
Yeah.
like, it's like a high, you know.
Oh, it
Especially
is.
if you're just like, come on, fucking hit
When
me.
when
Let's
I'm
do
in a
it. Like,
group when there's a party or something and somebody's like getting a little irritated or maybe they drank too much and they're starting to get a little something. I
really
just
let me step in.
I can feel it. I can sense it, and I go like, oh, where is the button to push? Oh, there it is. Got it. And then it's just like it goes from like level 3 to fucking DEFCON 5, like they're about to fucking, they're wanting to come at you and they're somebody's holding them back and I'm just standing there like I won't even I'll just stand there like,
Just watching.
yeah,
Just watch.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Come
watch the
on,
world
come
burn.
on. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like
So get it all out, man. Let it out. That's me in a Call of Duty lobby. When people are like, they hear when you play video games and everyone's like, oh my god, there's a woman playing video games. And I'm like, just get it out now. Because I'm going to shit on you in 2 minutes. So get it all out now. Call me fat, call me ugly, say I have purple hair. That's fine. And like,
nice.
it gets so bad. And then have, I don't know how PG-13 or rated R we can be on this, but I have my go-to
Say
comeback.
whatever.
Yeah, like my go-to comebacks are like, "Yo, I'll fuck your dad and give him the son he actually loves." Like, shit like that. You gotta hit him where it hurts.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you gotta hit him where it hurts. Or like
Nice.
people are like suck my dick, and then you're like, "Well, I don't put small things in my mouth." Like, there's instantaneous
Yes.
ones, right? And so that's I allow myself to be that way when I play video games because it's like they started it. They're just being sexist, so I feel like I'm okay to
Yeah.
be a bitch back.
Oh, for sure.
In
I mean, that
airsoft,
is almost
exactly.
expected in a game lobby. I don't
and
know.
no, it completely is. And I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
I get on there anticipating it to
it's
happen, and
fun.
I'm excited for it to happen.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to
Can
sit
you
in the car
imagine
like
getting a game lobby of
like
Call of
just
Duty or
silent.
Halo and everyone's like, no, no, no. Silent would be okay. It'd be boring, but
Yeah.
the worst would be everyone is so fucking nice every time in the
Oh my god,
lobby.
I bet you're so pretty. Oh, ew, that gives me the
You
ick.
you
Really
have
done.
such a pretty voice, Hannah.
Oh my god,
What?
stop. Literally, they do that all the time. Literally all the time. There's always
Like
that
this?
one.
They get in
There's
a
always
they
that
get in a,
one.
it's like an ASMR thing. They're like, oh
Get really close.
hey,
Yes.
what?
Yes. That's
Oh hey
exactly what happens.
guys, are y'all ready to play Call of Duty? Well, we're about to be a good team. We're going to beat everybody, okay? I'm really proud of y'all. Y'all should have really good thoughts and positive vibes only. Can you imagine that? I want to
I
fucking
have
break my
friends that do
computer.
that. I have friends that do that. It pisses me off. It
Oh
pisses
my
me off.
God.
Literally, so I have friends that'll do that, and I have my other friends that like are with like me that'll start it. Like, so we'll hear somebody on the team be like, "Oh my god, that was such a good kill, good job, like really representing women." And I'm like, "Yo, shut the fuck up!
Oh my
I don't need you to
God.
validate the fact I'm better than you. Like, stop, like, chill." And so online, that I will
Uh,
allow myself to be that way, but I've been working a lot because like I'm like I said before, I'm very much a freaking carbon copy of my dad, and he is a values confrontation person too, and that's
yeah.
exactly why my dad was. I love my dad, but he was a troublemaker. He like had story. He went to jail for 2 nights while he was in the Marine Corps because they were out drinking in Ocean City, and
Me too.
he
Yep.
tossed his gunny or staff sergeant off of a balcony at a bar.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Uh,
That's a good one. I like that.
in today's core, obviously you'd get kicked out. And
Bro, for
the
real.
in the old core, they're like, whatever, you're gonna cool off in jail. It's
Yep.
fine. We'll pick you up in 2 days, and it's whatever. But my dad was he was just bad, and so he did shit like that all the time. And like we call it seeing red in my family.
Yep.
Um, and it's happened to me one time that I can remember, and that's only because my dad told me it happened to me. So, like I said, when we go home, we ground fight. I have a necklace that was my aunt's before she passed away,
Mm.
um, and then it was given to me on my 18th birthday, and I never took it off. It was a gold chain. It was old, right? Like an older
Yeah.
necklace. And it had this tiny little anchor on it, and they gave it to me because like I went to the Naval Academy, so anchors, Navy, whatever.
Right.
Um, we were ground fighting, and he broke it while we were ground fighting. I I
Flipped
don't
your
remember.
shit.
I did. I don't remember this happening. I don't remember. I blacked out. Like
Right.
I don't remember. It snapped, blacked out. Next thing I knew, like I was blinking, and my dad's like pinned me to the ground, and like I had headbutted him and everything because we were ground fighting, and I guess it snapped. He broke it on accident. Like he went to go for like my other arm to put me in like a fucking headlock or something, and it broke, and I headbutted the shit out of
Yeah.
him. And I don't remember doing that. He's like, "Are you okay? Like, you good? You good?" I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" He was like, "Yeah, you totally just you went. I broke. I'm so sorry." And he went and got my necklace fixed the next day. He was like, "I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to break it.
Yeah.
Like, we were just roughhousing." I was like, "Yeah, I know. Like what happened?" He was like, "I your necklace broke. You recognized it broke, and you fucking started going ham." It's like,
Yeah.
okay, noted, noted. And that's how he was
Yeah.
when he was growing up too. And so I definitely inherited that. Um, and I'm sure there's been other moments when I've been like that too.
Sure.
But he recognized that that's what happened. He told me about it. Um, but that's also part of like all of that goes into like me being way too competitive, me like trying to just enjoy things. It was just
Yeah.
like it's just a mentality switch I had to make. I'm so much happier now that I have made that switch.
Yeah.
It's like not caring so much about stupid little things that like happen on the airsoft field or happen in life, and being able to just be like, this ultimately doesn't matter. I'm gonna forget about this in 48 hours. Like,
Yeah.
like why am I making such a big deal about this? This isn't good for me. Like, it's not good for anyone. This doesn't have any benefit. Like, it's not gonna fix anything, right? Um, but it's hard, and I'm still working on mentality. But
I
it
wish I
just
could
takes
say it,
this
it
takes
gets
time.
better. It does get better.
Yeah.
It gets better. Well, maybe it gets better because I forget more quickly. I don't know.
that's kind of like I force myself to forget. I'm like, whatever, like it happened. I
I
don't
don't have to
care.
force myself. I legit forget, bro. Like,
You're just like, wait, what happened?
wait, what? I can't store but so much information anymore. Okay, like
Yeah,
half those brain cells are gone. I don't
yeah.
know.
You're like, I think I collected disability for a brain injury. I don't
What?
know. Like,
What
did
happened now?
I?
Yeah. Oh
you're,
yeah.
you're hitting up
Yeah.
the VA. You're like, hey, was this on my medical record? Like,
I've calmed way the fuck down in the
yeah.
last. Well, honestly, I calmed way down when I got paralyzed. So that was going through that. It was laying there having to just laying in bed and alone with your thoughts kind of thing. You know, like when you can't actually do something, like just
Hmm.
take action. It's all mental. That was the real test. But I'm going to tell you where it started though. I had when I went to jail too when I was in Oceanside. Me and my buddy were drunk as shit, stole a car, and
Oh
got
my
caught. So we
god.
spent the weekend in San Diego County. We were both charged with grand theft auto. And then Marine Corps comes in and is like, "Oh, because of your exemplary military record." We're like, "What?
don't
Us?
don't fucking lie to me right now.
You don't remember what?" Like, so, but it was one of those things where double jeopardy. You couldn't. S
Can't
they
be punished twice.
right. So the judge was cool enough to kind of let us go. Get punished on in the military as
Let the
opposed
military
to
handle it. Yep.
right. Let the military handle it. So part of my punishment was 6 weeks at Balboa Naval Hospital in rehab,
Mm.
alcohol rehab.
Oh, yep.
So, yeah, A meetings every day, woohoo, um, and
Hard.
talk about your feelings. But I'm gonna tell you what was weird. Uh, Probably the biggest changing point or turning point in my life was the first. I think it was the first week, maybe the second week we were there. This it had to be the first week. We were brand new, but we go in this classroom and it's a legit classroom with the fucking old school like desks and shit that were real tiny.
Oh yeah, with the have the
And
chair connected to it.
yeah, I had the chair
Yep.
connected to the real tiny little half desk or whatever. And this we're sitting there waiting for this guy. This old dude comes in. He's short, fat. He's got gray hair. He's got a big beard, and kind of real, just funny looking, but
You're like,
like
this is the
comfortable.
guy that's
Like,
gonna
it
talk to
makes
me.
you, yeah, yeah, and but he makes you look, he makes you relaxed. Honestly, the way
Yeah.
he looked, he was just so. He walks in. He doesn't talk. He walks around and lays a piece of paper on all of our desks, pencil, whatever, and he goes up to the front and he says, "Write down 10 things you love about yourself. You got 10 minutes." And he
Mm.
walked out. And I stared at that paper like for fucking ever. And I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm a fucking Marine. I was overseas. I did, and I can't think of one thing. Like
Mhm.
it was almost like I was afraid to give myself a compliment
Yep.
on this paper, and it fucked me up. Like in my head, it fucked me up that I couldn't finish this. Number one, that I couldn't finish the task of
Yep.
writing 10 things. Uh, but the overthinking was like I was gonna write something, and I was like, no, that doesn't really make sense. I was like trying to get more detailed, and it
Nitpicking.
was this fucking mental ping pong. So anyway, it never ever left me. That one thing, I never forgot it. It always came back to me anytime I had a problem with like my self image or whatever. It always came back to me that one task. I didn't finish it. I think I wrote one thing, and I don't remember what I wrote because I was so just almost sad that I couldn't
Yeah.
think of this shit, So I that's when I realized I had a problem with my self image, and but years later, the definitely, I think the one thing I struggled with the most after that was self pity, and
Mm.
once I figured that shit out and I beat that, I was like, bro, it was the best liberation I've ever had. Like totally. totally liberated. It was I didn't have this. I'm good for 3 days and then bad for two,
Mhm.
and then I'm good for a week and then bad for one. Like I don't have that anymore.
That's
It was
awesome.
yeah, and it now when I was paralyzed, going
Yeah.
back to that, that was I did have that.
Mhm.
I tried all the mental exercises and shit, but it was very difficult. But I think that's where I really calmed down is through that. I still enjoy the chaos.
Yeah.
I really do. Um, if I had to choose between everything's peaceful all the time, um, or
Yeah.
everything's not all, like if I just had to choose the extreme of either end, give me chaos, give me struggle, give me
Yeah.
conflict. It's okay. I kind of thrive in it,
Yeah. No,
and
I get that.
yeah,
Spiritually, that
yeah,
in my soul.
yeah, for real. And it's a
Yeah.
hard thing because I think we feel like we don't have our shit together, you know.
Yeah. It's like we don't deserve that peace of
Uh,
mind. You know,
yeah, yeah,
like I totally understand the whole like loving yourself and trying to figure out what you love. And that's a continual journey, right? Like I personally believe that no matter where you're at in your life, like you can always continue to grow and continue to do
for
that
sure.
like that soul searching. So, but you have to find that line between like because I'd say the or the extremes for that is like people who think like, "Oh, I'm perfect. Like
Yeah,
I don't need to fix anything." And the people are like, "Oh, I fucking hate everything about myself." And
yeah,
there's a fine line between the two of those and recognizing that like there's so much that you should love about yourself, but
yeah,
there's also so much room for improvement. And you're going to continue to improve because you're going to continue to experience life. And like you could be 99 years old and still experience something you never experienced before. And it can completely change everything you used to like, every part of your mindset you used to have, like that one
right.
experience, right? So, like, I believe like there I just believe that people need to continue to try to work on themselves. Like it's a continuous thing. You should never be stagnant. Like
No,
you should never I don't want to say be 100% okay with yourself,
yeah,
if that makes sense. Um like yes, you should love yourself and you should appreciate everything, but I think you should always be like you should never reach that mentality of like, yeah, I'm good here, you know?
hmm
Like so like continual improvement. That's
it's
something
such
that
a it's
yeah.
such a hard thing because there's such a balance to
Yep.
find with that mentality with like okay, I'm like I like myself, I love myself,
Mhm.
but I do want to get better.
Mhm.
So how do you not go balls to the wall trying to get better and then beat yourself up for not accomplishing it? You know what I mean? Like it's that.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like hard.
Oh, dude, it's
It's like
like
finding that line.
I'm gonna be in shape, so I'm gonna go gung ho, motherfucker. All right, I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna do, all the time, every day, hardcore shit. Uh, or I'm gonna be a fat slob and eat like a fucking hog. Like whatever.
Yeah, it's like
So
recognizing that you don't have to have an extreme. You know,
right.
it doesn't have to be those extremes. And it's something that really I think it's like cliches when people are like, "Oh, you can't have it all." Like you need to choose between like your education or your social life or sleep and all this other shit. And I'm like, "Yeah, you can choose and you can prioritize, but I don't think you need to completely give up like one of those things, right? Like
Yeah.
I do believe you can continue to improve in every single category at the same time. Just you're prioritizing the ones that you want to improve in quickest first, right? So it's like if your biggest goal is like get in the best shape of your life, you're gonna go and make sure you hit the gym every single day. Whereas if you're like, oh, I want to get my master's degree, and you're taking a self-pacing online course, you're like, well, I'm definitely going to go to the gym before I do my schoolwork, and then you're like, oh, well, I need to get my 8 hours of sleep to help my
Yeah.
physicality or mentality or whatever for the gym. But you can still like, but I will like do 30 minutes of homework before I go to bed. It's like you can
hmm
still do constant, you can still hit like like try to improve in every single one of those categories, right? But like some you're going to improve in more based off of like what you're prioritizing at that point in your life, and those priorities are going to change. Like when you start having a family and you have kids, right? Or like let's say you get a new job. Like there's always going to be shifts, and it's just like I think the best way to like deal with that is just making sure you're able to adapt quickly, right?
Yeah.
Like be able to recognize like okay, being in the fantastic physical shape was super important for me, but now I've got children and a wife and or a
Yeah.
husband, and they need some more of my time. So like maybe today I sacrifice going to the gym so I can go and teach my kids how to throw a football, or
Yeah.
like those kind of things. It's just like just priority shifts and being okay with those shifts because they're gonna happen
Right.
regardless of whether you're okay with them or not.
Well, speaking of the kids thing, you said earlier, you like that was something that was between you and your ex,
Mhm.
that you didn't want to have kids. Was that a hard thing, or is it even now with your parents? Like, do they want you to have kids, or do you have other siblings besides your twin?
Yeah, so I have an older brother. Uh, he's I'm 25. He's 29. I have a twin brother and I have a younger sister. She's 23. She has a baby girl. So I have a niece. So for me, it's like okay, cool, my parents got the grandchild. That's a check in the box. They can leave me the fuck alone. Um, my mother, super like this just it irks me as
When you
someone who
gonna give me a
doesn't
grandchild?
exactly, and it's
Oh,
like
Jesus!
I hate that. I hate the you'll change your mind when you get older. I hate that. Fucking hate that. I wish I had a dollar for every time I heard that, not just from family, but from anyone.
Really?
Anyone. Yeah. Because
Why do
like
people feel like they have to say that? That's weird.
it's exactly. I'm like, dude, sure. Like if you want to think that, sure. I can promise you I'm probably not having kids. Like there's a 99% chance I'm not physically birthing a child. I have no interest. I love kids, but I like the idea of hanging out with them and like taking care of them and then being able to return them,
Yeah,
which sounds terrible. And people are probably like, "Oh my god, like
that
as a
doesn't sound
as
terrible.
as as a woman, like the one goal in life should be to like have children, blah blah blah." I'm like, That's all right. Go back to
There's
1950. Like
plenty
I'm
of human beings on the planet right now. Okay,
exactly. And
you don't
I
need to contribute. It's fine. It's okay.
I like the mentality of like if I did want to have a family, I would rather adopt or something. Like give somebody else like someone
Yeah.
less fortunate the opportunity of a fantastic life,
Well,
right?
look, you're
Like
in another. I don't know how long it's going to take, but that kind of mindset that's going to be way more normal in conversation in whatever 30 years, 50 years, whatever. It's already starting to be, but it's still your parents, my parents, or my mom. They're our that generation is still that mindset of and it is built in our DNA. We all know that. We understand
like a
why it's
primal
there.
need or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, we understand why it's there. Um, the need to grow the species or whatever. We get it. But my niece, one of my nieces, the same way. Like she never was interested in having kids. Still, she's 28, I think.
Hmm.
Same. She does, and she rock climbs as well. She's
Okay.
very active, whatever. Um, and she just doesn't want to have kids. And yeah, she's just like I don't know why. I just don't have that
Desire.
desire.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not there. And I think for people to think nowadays, especially with all the science and all,
Hmm.
that for people to think it's that it's so that it's so weird. Like, how could that even happen? Like, look, there's all kind of different people. Like, there's so many fucking people
Hmm.
in history. Do you think that not everyone is born the same? Like, duh. Like, how
Yeah.
do you So it's I I never had an issue with. I don't know. There's a lot of social issues I never had an issue with.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think maybe the common sense, like the way we think, like about if you like, okay, if is it hurting someone? No.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah, like what
is it gonna
what
affect you personally in your life?
I dude, I remember I was like, I don't know, I was a teenager, and I was raised Catholic, so
Mhm.
all of these religious teachings, they were really ingrained in me. But there
Mhm.
were some of them that just didn't stick because I was like the homosexual thing never bothered me, right?
Yeah.
I never felt the same way or believed the same way that they taught.
Yeah, like they're
Um,
extreme.
it just didn't
Like
make
yeah.
sense because I have that personality type. I ask why. Well, why? Well,
Yep.
why?
Why does that matter?
Well, yeah, why is well, if they're this, they go to hell. Well, why? What, like what? What is it? Well, because God said. Oh, because you said so thing. Oh, the thing that parents tell their 4-year-old because they don't know how to reason yet. Okay,
Well, that's my
uh,
favorite argument when it comes to religion. So I grew up in an Episcopalian church. Like that's
gotcha.
how my parents. That's how I was raised. So we did the whole
Yeah,
Sunday school, all that crap, right? I personally don't like. I religious, still believe in God, right? But I prefer the non-denominational route, right?
yeah,
I don't like churches because I think they're hypocritical,
yeah.
and I hate
Agreed.
the because God said so. And I was like, let's pause on that right real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Your interpretation of what God said, cause right, like the Bible was written how long ago? The
Right.
definition of words have changed since then, right?
Big
What
time.
what you think that word in that book means right there, right? Like, are we sure he wrote down verbatim what God said, right? Okay, one, you can't prove that to me,
No.
so cut it out. Two, the reason why there's a bunch of different religions is because, derived from the same text, is because there are a bunch of different ways to interpret what those words in that text mean, right?
Yep.
Just like what explain to me why your one interpretation is the only one that matters or the only one that can be considered.
Well,
Like
how dare you ask that?
I
Oh,
know.
do you know that uh, the devil is the author of lies, the father of deceit, and the creator of doubt. And all he has to do to win is put that little seed of doubt in your mind. So what that means is you should never question what is taught, okay? Hannah, how dare you?
How dare I have my own opinions and use God's given gift of free will?
No,
How
that's
dare
not
I?
the same, Hannah.
How dare I?
No, if you question those things, that's the devil creating doubt in your mind, okay?
Literally, the conversations I have with my mother every time I go home. Every
Oh,
time.
dude, it's
My
it's
brother,
revolving. Yeah, I can't even talk to my mom. I just nod and smile with my mom and like, okay,
my twin brother, fucking thrives on conflict and pissing my mom off. He's completely atheist. Completely atheist,
yeah.
mind you. He went to a Catholic private high school. He went to
That's why he's
DeMatha.
atheist.
Exactly. That's what I
Do you know how
said.
many atheists used to be Catholics? I swear.
Like, look what happens when you try to beat something, like beat people into submission. Like, that's why we get like riots and revolutions and shit like that.
For
It's because
real.
of that right there, because of that mindset.
Hmm.
Um, and so he just stirs the pot. He'll say shit just to argue with her, even if he doesn't believe it. His like
Oh yeah.
sole purpose. My mom, like when we would drive him back to college, because he went to college in Pennsylvania from home. If he came home for like a long weekend or something, he would purpose she and love her, but she did it to herself. She knows my brother. And I rode back with him one time and I was like, I will never fucking do this with y'all again. Never. My mom, by the end of the trip, was crying, and my brother's like, "Well, I don't. Yeah, why are you crying? Like, I'm just pointing out like a different point of view, and it'll be something stupid. It's either religion, it's fucking politics, and he just like knows exactly which one of her buttons to press,
Sure.
and like how to start it. And then he'll be getting out of the car. He'd be like, "I just want you to know I agree with you, but I just think you should also take into consideration, the other opinion, like the other side." And I'm like, Justin, this is not. I love you want to play advocate, buddy, but like we don't need to do this right now. Like not in a car while we're driving 2.5 hours back to your school. I'm
Yeah.
I'm the one driving home with my mother in tears now, 2.5 hours the other way, and the entire time we both know she's just gonna be bitching about you. And it's so funny because like my twin brother is definitely my mom's favorite child. Every parent can
Oh
say they don't have a
shit.
favorite child. You can tell me right now you don't have a favorite child. I'm gonna call you a fucking liar. We all know
Oh, We have a
Every
favorite child. Oh
exactly.
yeah.
Every parent has a favorite child. They're like, "Oh, I love
Yes.
my children equally." No, like, and we
No, I
all
told my
know,
kids all the time who my favorite was. Like, fuck y'all, I don't care.
yeah, I'm my dad's favorite child, and my twin brother is my mom's favorite child. And
Yeah.
and we always throw this thing back in her face because uh, she'll be like, "I don't have favorites." And I'm like, "You can't say that to me when my sister, because she enlisted in the Navy, was getting on the bus to boot camp, and you're in tears." And what comes out of her mouth? She goes, "I love my mom, I really do," but she says, I don't know what I could do if this was Justin going away to boot camp. Or like, bitch, your youngest daughter is getting on the bus to boot camp right now, and you're worried about my brother who's at home. It's 3 p.m. He's probably still asleep. Like,
Oh my god.
what are you doing?
Oh Jesus.
She's like, well, I didn't mean it like that. We're like, okay, we already know he's your favorite. That's pump. We call him in our family. We have like condescending nicknames for everyone. I'm like, my brother always calls me Pumpkin Tater Head or whatever. And they're stupid. And then I always call him Pumpkin Princess because he's my mom's like fucking Pumpkin Princess. Like that's a baby boy right there. Can do no
Oh
wrong.
yeah.
Even though she's arguing with him or he's arguing with her, just for the just for the sake of arguing.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of arguing. The entire every time they freaking went back to college.
Oh, that's funny.
And then she'd always call me on the way back. She'd be like, "This is what your brother said." I'm like, he said that just to rile you up. It's just for the reaction.
Yeah.
Like I'm close with my brother. I know what he actually thinks. Like he doesn't disagree with you. He just wants the reaction out of you. She's like, I just don't understand why he says those things. I was like, Mom, because it's like I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of entertaining.
Right?
like,
It really
like,
is. We
like
know how you're gonna react. So
exactly. If I'm
yeah.
gonna get the reaction out of you, and I'm gonna get it every time, like yeah, we're gonna keep doing this. Like that's his
Oh,
mentality.
that's
But
funny.
it's just a bunch of chaos. Everyone in my family loves chaos except for like well, I'd say it's mainly my dad and my twin brother and I. We just the three of us just cause problems. We can't go anywhere together. Like we get in trouble. My dad and I started a water fight in a movie theater one time. It was terrible.
Oh
It was
shit.
terrible. We're like us three can't be together alone. It's just we cause problems.
At least it's not boring.
No, it's never boring. It's always a good time. Someone always ends up crying or bleeding or, we're on our way to the hospital or something like it
Oh
always
shit.
ends up interesting. But like my mom won't let us go and do anything by ourselves. She's like, "No, I'm coming." Cuz like we do. We're all adults, but we need a babysitter. Like it's gotten to that point. It's so bad. Like we all get together and we're all freaking 12
Y'all
years
have your
old
own
again.
part, your own part to play. Your mom's,
Exactly.
like the
Exactly.
balance everybody out, and
Bless her soul. I don't know how she does it. I
yeah,
couldn't do it.
that's her role, man. She loves it. She loves
I
it.
couldn't do it. I
Even
could
when
not.
she's crying, she loves it. Okay, that's just that's
Yeah, it
everyone
just
has their own purpose.
makes me think of one time. It was my sister's birthday at home. She got really into baking, so my mom got her this baking set. It had like dyes and icing and shit in it. And so I don't know how it started. I'm definitely gonna blame my dad. He always starts it. He's an instigator. We had an icing fight in our kitchen.
Oh
My
shit!
mom just cleaned the kitchen.
Like cake icing?
Yes, like blue, like blue dye icing. Like when I say
Was
there
this
was
homemade or was this the kind you get out of one of those
yeah, she took like a
containers?
little container and then she added the blue dye to
Oh
it
yeah, yeah,
and
gotcha.
we had a bunch of blue eyes because she was making a cake. And
Okay.
when I say like my mom, when my mom cleans, she's not like the person that's like, oh, I'm gonna vacuum, sweep, whatever, and we'll be done. Growing up, like when we cleaned, especially the kitchen, you had a fucking toothbrush and you're scrubbing like the baseboard or every little nook
Damn!
and cranny. So like she's like an OCD cleaner, and she just
Holy
spent like
shit!
the last like 3.5 hours cleaning this kitchen fucking spotless. We had an icing fight in the kitchen.
Oh
Blue
shit!
icing everywhere. My mom had to physically separate herself from the situation. Our dog was blue. We had
Oh
a
my
Saint we had a
god!
Saint Bernard. My dog fucking blue. Like just died. We couldn't get
Oh
the
my
blue dye out of his hair for like a week. Like sister's covered in blue icing. I'm covered in blue icing everywhere. My mom had to walk away. She comes back. She's crying, and she's just like she's trying to like hold it together, and you see in her face because she's like you could see it working. Like she's like I know they all just had so much fun, but I also just spent 3 hours cleaning this fucking kitchen, and now it's covered in blue dye. And my dad's like everything escalates with my dad because my dad is a giant child and I love it. Like I just freaking love it. We've brought the hose inside the house before
oh
and
my
had water
god!
fights. I kid you not. I don't know why my mom puts up with any of us. Like
Oh,
that.
that's funny.
That she is a strong woman. I couldn't have. I would have killed us all by now. She works. She works in the ICU hospital. She could have. She literally could have poisoned us all by now, but she still hasn't.
Oh,
I'm
that's
still.
funny.
I'm still waiting for the family dinner where we all start to fall asleep as we're eating. Like like
Like, Mom,
one
no.
one of those days. It's gonna happen eventually. Cause like I definitely couldn't do it. Like I like and at the end of it, we're all looking around the kitchen. We're like, yeah, okay, we fucked up, and then we'll like clean it up and everything. But it'll never be to her standards, so she's
Oh
gotta
no.
go and redo it all. Like I'm
Uh,
telling you, Clorox bleach, hot ass water, like scalding water, and I don't know how she's got fucking nerves in her hands anymore. Like putting her hand in this bucket of scalding water, she's like scrubbing down the walls. Like we wash the walls in my house.
holy shit.
I'm not
Yeah. My
toothbrush.
my grandma was like that. Yeah, my dad's mom.
She's my mother is
Yeah.
very like old school, and so it's very much like the mentality of like my house will be completely spotless. Like that is my
Right.
job as a wife. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I love you. I will help you clean when I'm home. I'm so sorry we did this, but I had a fantastic fucking time. It's like a core memory.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like this happened fucking
Yeah.
like 15 years ago, and I still remember it. Like I can relive the entire thing in my head right now.
Sure.
I can hear her screaming at my dad getting water on the carpet as he was waterboarding me. Like
Oh my god.
that
That is
I,
awesome.
I love my brother's holding me down and my dad's waterboarding me and my mom looks through and this is in the living room on carpet. She's not concerned about her drowning daughter. She's concerned about the water in the carpet.
Of
Wayne, you're
course.
getting water on the carpet. I'm like, bitch, I'm drowning right now, but that's fine. Water on the carpet. It's okay. Like it's
Oh my
totally
god,
okay.
that's funny.
Mm-mm.
I used to, well, I kind of still do the same thing, but my wife's really, particular about cleaning and all this shit, and I'm, I work construction, I flip houses, so I come in. I'm not taking my boots off every time I come in, because as soon as I walk in the door, I'm still working on this house. So I'm in this room. I'm always working on a project, that's whatever room I'm redoing. So I come in, I get my tools ready for here, for this work,
Mhm.
after work, and then I'm not taking my boots off because I still need them. So
Exactly.
she gets so mad, and I'm just like, you can deal with it. It's fine. Just sweep up. That's your purpose. She hates when I say that because
You said
I'm
that's your
like,
purpose to her?
oh yeah,
Oh, I don't know how you're still alive.
bro. I
Oh,
mean, come on.
if my dad
I'm
said that to my mom, that would have been it. That that would have been the shit. She wouldn't poison us. It would have
whoever
gone hyper
whoever is the
facts.
one that cares the most about whatever thing it is, that's their purpose. If she care, I don't care about the floor. I can deal with it later, like after I'm all cleaned up and after if I
Yeah,
want to sit down and watch football or something,
it's like
I'll
you'll
take
get
the
to
broom.
it.
Yeah, I'll
Exactly.
sweep it up. It's no big deal. Like it's not hurting anything. Nobody's over here. We're not preparing for a party. But if she's the one that cares about it, well then right now that's your purpose. So I mean that's my idea. So hey, if you care about it, you do it. That's what you're meant to do. Okay.
That was one
Otherwise, you
thing.
wouldn't give a fuck about it. So,
No facts. That's one thing. Like my mom, we'd be at home and she'd ask everyone to help her clean and or cook or do something right, and we do it right. Never to her standards. So regardless, you're getting yelled at.
right.
So I always got to the point. It was like, Mom, I'm gonna get yelled at regardless. Okay? So I'd much rather just get yelled at for not doing it
Yeah.
than put in the time
Then
and work to do
actually
it
doing it. Yeah.
and still
Trying.
get
Yeah.
yelled at,
Mm-mm.
right?
Fuck that.
So eventually she just stopped asking us for help and then we'd all feel bad, right? And then we just kind of like get out of her way and do the things we could like vacuum or something that we knew like we were capable of doing to her standard. Like something stupid simple like that or like the dishes, like just toss them on the fucking dishwasher and run. Um but yeah, yeah, like when we would clean our rooms, she'd be like, "This is not clean." I'd be like, "There's nothing on the fucking floor." She'd be like, "Well, your bed's not made." Well, I'm gonna sleep in it. Like that's okay, mom. Like
Oh yeah.
sorry. Like I still gotta fold laundry. I'm so sorry, mom. At least it's at least it's in the laundry basket. It's not on my floor. It's not on the bathroom floor. Like
Right.
exactly. So
Well, we do the work I do. We do like I said, we flip houses, but we also do property management. So
Oh, cool.
we take care of some apartments, this whole strip of apartments and
Yeah.
stuff, and we'll go in if people have something broke or whatever. So and a lot of times it's when they're at work or whatever. So we'll go in, they'll leave a key, and we'll fix their toilet or their
Yeah.
replace a toilet or whatever it is, fix their AC, and we go in and this lady. We had to get into her closet for the washer and dryer,
Okay.
and we opened the closet door, and it was we couldn't see the washer and dryer,
Oh no.
bro. There were so many clothes. I'm not shitting. I was just like a mountain of clothes. I was like, how does one person have this many clothes? So then,
She is a female.
yes,
Give us some
I was
credit,
like,
okay?
okay, I got it. And these apartments are small,
Yeah.
so there's not a whole lot of storage, space. So then we fixed the dryer. We went upstairs, and the closet upstairs in our bedroom had the AC unit and stuff in there. So we had
Mhm.
it was like clogged up. The drain was. So we went up there, opened a closet door, couldn't see in there. Couldn't see. I mean, a mountain, a mountain. All of them hung up. And all this hung up. It's fine.
At
But
least hung up. That's better
trash
than
bags, trash bags on the floor, full of clothes. Now at least they were in bags. That, I mean, I'm not putting it
at least
down. I'm
not
just saying,
steaming them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bro, there is, I don't know, 10,000 pieces of clothing. I don't know how many. I don't know how many.
I have a lot of clothes, like a lot. So I have a roommate. Her name's Jess. So we're kind of polar opposites. She's very much the girly girl. I am obviously I'm a tomboy. Like I'll own that. I'm a tomboy. Whatever.
Yeah,
And, like that's not what people are like. You're a tomboy. Like my mom uses that as an insult. I'm like, you want me to get
that's
that?
not an insult.
I was like, yeah, I'll get that tattooed as a tramp stamp, mom. Like I don't give a fuck. Okay. I also like my mom hates my tattoos. Like she fucking hates me having tattoos. Like
I like this. What's the one on on the front?
so this one I just got. Actually, my dad and I got matching tattoos. So this is the
That Greek.
Greek fraternity for the Marine Corps.
Oh
So
shit.
he wanted
Really?
to, yeah. So he wanted to do something Marine Corps related, and I was like, I'm not getting an EGA or the Bulldog. I'm not. I want something that's like, yeah, Marine Corps related, but I don't want to scream Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't get that either.
I'm not trying exactly right. And then so I knew it was the perfect one when I went to work, and my math sergeant was like, "What is that?" I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, cool." Um, and then so this is the Greek fraternity, and I have a small quote or the second half of a quote. So my half says the calm doesn't suit me. So my dad, he got the first half of the quote. The entire quote is, and I actually have the entire quote on my ribcage. I was born for the storm. The calm doesn't suit me. He sent
Uh,
that quote to me in a letter during my plebe summer like boot camp for the academy,
yeah.
and so he got the first half of the quote, and I got the second half. This is actually new. This I just got, I think, a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago at this point. Yeah, two
Oh
weeks ago.
shit. Oh, so that's
Yeah,
brand new.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's like brand new. So this was my
Yeah, it
Christmas.
looks good.
This
Yeah.
is my Christmas gift from my dad. Um,
Nice.
which I thoroughly enjoy. And then this one I actually got when I was deployed to Palau by an individual named Black Rain. Yeah, that was fun. And then these are just two small ones that my teammate Abby, she's also on Goon Squad with me. We were having
Oh,
like a goon,
nice.
we were having like a, we call it a Goon Miss, a Goon Squad Christmas party. And she brought a tattoo gun and she does tattoos. And she was like, "Who wants a tattoo?" And I was like, "Fucking mark me up, like do it." I just
Wait,
love
what?
tattoos.
She just did that like on the whim?
Yeah,
Like,
she had like stencils and stuff like that, but so she put the stencil
and
on
they
there.
look good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was like yes,
That's
I'm
awesome.
exactly. So I just
Okay.
love tattoos, and like I have a giant colored phoenix on my thigh that I got in Minnesota, but it was like during my time at TBS. Quote on my rib cage. I have a llama that I got when I was in Peru. I got that one behind a bar on New
Uh,
Year's Eve.
oh, what?
Yeah, that one was a fun one. The power kept going out, but I was like drunk, and the guy had a tattoo gun. He was like, "Let's get." I was like, "He's like, he's an actual tattoo artist, but he was definitely fucked up when we got there, and then we got fucked up." And he was like, "Who wants tattoos?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then I have pictures of me sitting behind a bar. Everyone's at the bar ordering drinks, and they're watching me get tattooed. We're just sitting in a
Holy
chair, and he's
shit.
tattooing my shoulder,
Did it
and they're
turn out good?
Yeah, it turned out pretty good. And then we're
Okay.
passing a cigarette back and forth, and I was like, yeah, this is fun, woo! Like, so that one's definitely there for the story. But yeah, I just like tattoos. Like my mom absolutely hates them, which is ironic because she was the first one in my family to get a tattoo. Yes,
Damn.
she got a giant anchor on her like wrist right here
Yeah.
because I was at the nail academy. And I don't know if it was like a midlife crisis or something, but she got it when she took my sister some sea turtle camp in Texas. Came back with a tattoo.
Oh shit.
And because of that, my twin brother, again an instigator, we all thrive on the chaos in my family, came up with a name for her, a nickname, because she said she would always say like tattoos or like trailer trash, like you don't want to be trailer trash. It was like fucking whatever. Um, her name is Patricia, but we call her she goes by Trish. So my brother started calling her Triple T, trailer trash Trish, and
Oh shit.
I was like, Justin,
Oh my god.
no, like I get it, you're the favorite, but you're pushing it right now, bro. Like,
Yeah, but
we're
she got that tattoo for you.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I didn't care.
Yeah.
Damn it, I gave her shit about it. I was like, okay, woman, you cannot tell me I can't get a tattoo when you were the first one in the family to get a tattoo to mark yourself, right? And
Yeah.
she's like, well, it has meaning, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, my tattoos have meaning, or are like they mean something to me, right? Like that's all I fucking care about. Like for me, tattoos are
Well,
either
of course.
they
Yeah.
represent something or they're an experience, and I just kind of like I said,
There's a
drunk
story
New Year's
behind
Eve
him.
behind a
Yep.
bar,
Yep.
fucking what my first deployment, fucking randomly at my goon squad Christmas. The Phoenix like is because of rebirth because I went through a bunch of shit. The quotes from my dad that he sent me in a letter, like
Yeah.
exactly. So
My
she's
first one was let's see if I can. You can't really see it there. It's
does that say USMC? It does.
it does, yeah. So that's do you know Calvin and Hobbes? I don't know if you ever heard of it. Most people
Love
haven't heard of it.
Calvin Hobbes with the
That
tiger.
was my favorite cartoon when I was a teenager. So
My
all
sister
my
has a
buddies.
Calvin Hobbes tattoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we grew up. My dad used to read it to us.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was my first one in San Diego before I went overseas. All my buddies were getting the bulldogs and the EGAs and stuff,
Yeah,
and
like very
I didn't.
stereotypical. Yeah.
I'm those one of the personality types that as soon as something becomes popular, I hate it. Yeah, that's so everyone
Yep.
was getting the EGAs and the bulldogs. I'm like fucking dumb. So I was like, oh, I like Calvin and Hobbes. So he's just he's staying there casually with an M16 uh, USMC. A lot of people don't know when I tell them because we'll talk about tattoos on here
Hmm.
as well. And I'm like, oh, I got Calvin. I actually have Hobbes over here.
Oh, I
I
love
got it
that.
uh, in Japan. An old Papa-san out in town was drunk as fuck.
We
Um,
love that. I
bro,
love that.
this thing does not look like Hobbes. I'm telling you. I don't know if you can.
That looks like a
Okay,
ferret.
that's what everyone says. It looks like a ferret, and I'm like, well, look, okay, Mr. Miyagi was drunk as fuck. He gave me the fucking shit, okay, and I was drunk as hell too. So, but yeah, that was in a dark alley in
Dude.
Okinawa. Yeah, but
Oh my god.
oh
Oh
yeah,
my god.
and then I got one here, and then I got one on my calf. But yeah, I didn't want to go along with what everybody else was getting. Even
I don't like it. I just don't
yeah.
want some people, when they go on like Pinterest and they want exactly the picture on Pinterest. I was like, why do you want
Oh,
something
okay.
that like 40 other people
Yeah.
have gotten, right? Like this one, or at least for this one, I had him add the manta ray in the middle because he had the hammerhead on the wall on his
Oh, okay.
stencil.
Yeah.
I had him add the manta in the middle, and this is all in like their Palauan tribal.
Oh, that's cool shit.
And I was like, yeah, I want the manta ray to be in red,
I
right?
mean,
Like,
that is really good.
yeah, he fucking killed it. His fine lines. I gotta get it touched up a little bit because certain spots didn't take. Like up here, I don't know if you can see it. Up here, it's fading a little bit in the head.
Hmm.
Uh,
The
it's just
lines are so clean, though.
yeah,
God.
he did a fantastic. He killed it.
Yeah.
I was like a little worried. He barely spoke in English, but he did a fantastic job. Um, I just like unique things. And then my phoenix and my thigh was completely individually designed for me. Like he gave me the stencil and everything when I was like,
Nice.
this is mine. The quote, yeah, people probably might have the same quote. That's fine, but the quote means
Sure.
something to me, right? Like my
Right.
stories can be different. My story, I feel like whenever I get a tattoo, it's never gonna be like I like this because it's pretty. Like
No.
do this, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
so.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
I love tattoos. I'm getting a sleeve. I just gotta find an
Oh,
artist
you're
to
gonna
do
do
it.
that? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going all in.
Oh, completely. Like I'm getting a sleeve. So I have the daddy daughter tattoo. My mom wants to get a mother daughter tattoo now that I've done it with my dad because
Oh, there you go.
she feels a little left out, which is fine. Her favorite flower is a sunflower, so she thinks I'm getting like a tiny ass little sunflower. No, I'm doing like this giant like floral design that's gonna go from my rib cage down my side. She's gonna hate it, but
Jesus.
I'm just gonna be like, it's a sunflower. This is for you. Uh, and then for my sleeve, I want the gods. I love Greek mythology, and so I'm going to do the gods Athena and Ares battling each other. And so I want the war scenes. I want a
Hence
war scene.
your Discord handle. Okay.
Exactly. My Discord
Gotcha.
handle and my that's the same as my gamer tag is Athena's Grace. And all of my pets are named after Greek like mythology and kings. So the black cat, the chonky one, his name is Ulysses, after a Greek
Mm,
king. My dog, her name is Athena, and my cat's name is Ares.
gotcha.
Like so I just love Greek mythology. I think it's really cool. I like the idea and the stories behind it. So yeah, it's my little fun fact about me.
I love it. I love it.
So
So this the Goon Squad, how did you get on the team? Like you started out, didn't know shit.
yep,
You with a rental pistol and then oh, I love everyone here. They're so nice. I want to come
exactly,
back and play. So how do
exactly.
you go from that to being on the Goon
So
Squad or whatever?
I started looking. I was like, okay, well, so I'd been playing for a couple weeks at this point. I'm trying to think of the heck the because I got picked up right before Fight Night. I don't know if you know what Fight Night.
KWA Fight Night?
Yeah,
I've only heard of it. I don't know. Is it the 1v1 thing?
yeah, it's a 1v1 thing.
Okay.
So I actually participated in this past one because I was invited to it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
How'd you do?
I can't say yet. I signed
Oh.
an NDA because they haven't released it yet. I We have to wait for
Oh.
them to release all
No
the seasons.
shit.
Yeah, so like there's been a
Oh,
winner
that's
and
cool.
everything for this past season and everything already, I believe, but
Oh, okay.
no one we're not allowed to talk about the results or how we did or who we played against or
Fight
any
Club
of
shit.
that
I
yet.
love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's literally like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we all signed NDAs and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
uh
Dude, when you sign an NDA, it makes you feel important, you know?
exactly. I was like,
I
I'm
got
a boss
privileged
bitch
information.
right now. Yeah. Like,
I know something you don't know.
exactly. And then it was funny because everyone knew I was participating in it, and they're like, "Yo, how'd you do? How'd you do?" I'm like, "Guys, fuck off. I can't tell you. Like,
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
asking me because I want to tell. I'll be honest. I'm not great at secrets. I'm not great at secrets or surprises. I'm the
Keep your
person.
fucking mouth shut, Hannah.
I know, right?
Jesus.
Right? Like it's terrible. Well, not so much secrets. Let me say probably more surprises. Like I'm the type of person that when something exciting happens, like I get so excited. Like I like to buy gifts for people, right? Or surprise people with things.
Yeah.
I never make it to the surprising them part because I'll buy the gift and I'm like, oh, I'm just so excited here. Let me just give it to you now. Like please, like look at this. Look what I got you. Like isn't this so cool? Like that's like
Oh,
me. That's
shit.
me as a person. Like it's yeah. Fucking yeah, I just get so
Nothing wrong with that.
excited. I just get so excited.
Yeah.
But I was actually picked up right before, so before the actual 1v1s for Fight Night at Project in One, they did 1v1s, but it was like a little mini tournament of the day. It was like it was like it was like tryouts for Fight Night, if you will, because they had the captains there. The captains got to like select people that they wanted to come to Fight Night,
Okay.
and that's how I got selected because I did really well at that one. And that's kind of like where everyone for me started like figuring out who I was. So I've been playing for a couple weeks. I'm trying to remember what month that we did that like little 1v1 thing. Um Sometime before the summer. It was before June. Might have been June. It was May or June. I'm gonna say May or June. So I'd been playing for like 3 or 4 months. Yeah, I'm gonna say it was June. Yeah. Um and that was my first time repping like Goon Squad or anything because they got me like the team sweatshirt and everything kind of like right away.
Yeah.
Um, but I was like, "Oh, like I said, I'm a really competitive person, and you're telling me that I can play airsoft competitively? Like that's a thing here? Fuck yeah! How does one get on a team?" And one of the guys in one, Everett, he was like, "Hey, this is the Goon Squad captain right here. Like, hey Goon, this is Hannah. Like, she's looking for a team." And he was like, "Fuck yeah!" So Goon was like, "Yeah, we'd be happy to have you. Like, I've seen you play. Like, you're pretty good. Like, please come join the team." And that's literally how it happened. I kid you not. I was leaving Project
That's
N1
awesome.
after playing pubs, and
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Ever, and I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to be a part of a team." And he was like, "Well, here's a team captain right here." Like,
Oh my god.
yeah, so that was really cool, and they were super supportive, and it was awesome because like when we did that, a bunch of our team like participated in the little 1v1 day um tryouts for Fight Night, and it was really cool because like it was my first time like actually all with the team and everything, and everyone was so supportive, and then I also played really well, and I felt good because it was like I felt like I was like earning my spot on the team, and
Right.
like you know the way that the 1v1s were set up was you had to win they made you use a pistol, a shotgun, and then a rifle. All I'd ever played with at that point in time was a pistol. So I was like, I wasn't expecting to do well or as well as I did, right?
Right.
We had some of do you know the Marshmallow team? Marshmallow Hunters?
No.
They're a team out here in California as well, but I have some of my friends on there and Johnny, one of the guys that's on that team, he worked or used to work at Project N1. He was like, "Hey, like with your type of playstyle and you being new, stay away from the stay away from those tiny ass barriers. Because I'm a small person and I like to play Snake and stuff like that. But I was so new that I wasn't good at it yet. He was like,
Yeah.
"You're gonna go." He's like, "Go to this barrier, fucking stay there and just shoot him." And I was like, "Fuck it, okay, I'll try it," and it worked out well. And so like a bunch of people were coaching me and everything, and then I made it past the first round of that, and like no one, I wasn't expecting me to. No one was expecting me to really. Um, but I won both the pistol and the shotgun round, and then you just had to win two out of the three guns. So at that point, I'd already moved on. And like I said, like me trying to use an airsoft rifle is a sight to see. I will own that. It looks tragic. I
What?
saw videos of me trying to use an airsoft rifle. Tragic. I look.
What?
It looks. It
How
bad.
is that possible?
I right. You would think it would correlate. I've grown up shooting real steel rifles and everything, but
Yeah.
for some reason, I couldn't figure out. It was like this weird ass. I don't know. I wish I could tell you.
What was it? What kind of? Do you know
It
what
was
kind of
just
rifle it was?
some random person's rifle. They were like, "Here, you need a rifle? Take this." And I was like, okay." Put the mag in. We reloaded. All of that, right? Like I'm fine. But the thing is, with airsoft rifles and airsoft players, especially competitively, none of them hold it like it's an actual fucking gun.
Oh no, huh?
And
Yeah. They
that's
do
what
like a paintball
that,
gun.
that's
Yeah.
what your girl was
Like
doing. And I'm like
yeah.
holding it like an actual like rifle. And I'm like,
Well,
this
that's not bad.
it looked funny, and then when I saw them like trying to switch to the left, me trying to hold the rifle in the left hand, now I just ran at him and started pulling the trigger. That's what I did. I was like, I already won. I'll happily go out looking like an idiot and bring joy to everyone watching. Uh, because yeah, I don't know why. I was so nervous. I was terrified, if you want me to be
Really?
completely honest. Yeah, it was like I always get nervous in any sort of competition like thing. Like I said, I've been playing lacrosse for like 15 years. I still get nervous when I play a game today.
Yeah.
Like that feeling doesn't go away. At least not
The
for me. Some
the butterflies or
yeah, the
whatever.
butterflies, like
Yeah.
the like the nerves, like and I was like my hand was like shaking and everything. I was
Yeah.
like, guys, like why was that scary to
You
me?
want to do well. Yeah.
Exactly. Like and it's cuz I'm competitive, but yeah, I just said that. I looked stupid trying to use the rifle and then switch arms.
I
And
wonder,
some
is it
people,
because the mask? Maybe like it's hard to
yeah, exactly.
get
Like I
a.
couldn't. I was
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
issues because like I couldn't actually get my cheek on it, and I'm like,
Yeah. Right.
this how am I aiming with this? And I
Hey,
was,
guess what? On an airsoft rifle, you don't have to. You just watch the
you
BB.
just watch the BB. I
Yeah,
am
that's it.
like blind. Let me tell you that right. I have astigmatism in my left eye,
Oh yeah.
and I'm left eye dominant.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So it was. I'm like trying to do this to use my left eye. Yo, I look ridiculous. It looked ridiculous.
Where are those
Like,
pictures on your Instagram? What the fuck?
there's a reason they're not on my Instagram.
Damn it,
That is
woman.
why. that is that is why I got a melee kill. I didn't know that was an airsoft thing at that
Oh
tournament.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, my I think I had forgotten to fill my mags up with gas for round two, and I none of my mags were working, and then he rushed at me. He ran up BBs. I heard him reloading. I turned the corner and I shoved him. I do have that video. That is a
Oh,
fun video.
nice. Okay.
He sent it to me because he was recording. So it was his from his point of view. I literally just turned the corner and I shoved him, and then they gave it to me. They were like melee kill. Like, cool. Can someone get me some green gas for my mags? Like, this is really bad.
Oh, that's
Like,
funny.
it was fun. I really enjoyed it, and that was like my first competitive experience ever. And it was like the 1v1s. And then since then, I've done like the indoor milsim challenges that Project N1 hosts, like the IDMS. And I help ref now the syndicate stuff out here, which is like the
Oh
speedball
shit. Okay.
tournament.
Yeah.
So I started helping them ref with that, and they're training me to be a head ref for that, and that's really cool because like that is like
Okay.
an aggressive play style
It
that they
makes
have.
sense now. Okay. One of your Instagram posts, it might be your one of your recent ones. You had a handful of pictures on there. They're really good. You look really good on them. I think you're sitting on a counter, um, or in a
Oh
chair, and
yeah,
somebody commented on there that said we have the best looking ref or something, or the
yeah,
hottest ref.
that was John from the
That's what
syndicate.
it
Yeah,
meant.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
That's
so I
yeah,
was
yeah.
wondering where the ref thing came in. Okay,
Yeah, because they were looking for so the syndicate stuff is like really big, I guess, in NorCal. And they're trying to get it more popular down here in SoCal, and so they figured like, hey, let's get some SoCal players to ref, right? Because there's like this unspoken beef between, and I'm still learning all of this, like
okay,
still very new to the airsoft like theme out here. There's
yeah,
like some unspoken beef, I guess, between NorCal teams and SoCal teams, like fucking whatever, guys. It's fucking airsoft. I'm just like, y'all are some grown ass men that are larping to begin with, okay? Like, I'm sorry, like we're
still
all larping.
fun.
Exactly, it is fun. Larping's fun. Hey, I
Yeah,
grew
but the
up.
competitive stuff. Okay,
Oh,
NorCal sucks.
exactly. That's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what it is. At my first time refing the SoCal tournament, there was a fist fight between two teams.
Yes.
I was like, welcome to airsoft.
And what did you do? You're the ref.
We ran over and everyone was splitting it up, and they were like mag dumping, and then they started throwing punches. And
Oh
one of our
Jesus.
refs just aggressively shoves, and I get between them, and like my officer, Marine Corps officer, kicked in. I was like, "Get the fuck over there!" Like I'm cussing, yelling at people. My 5'3" little ass. Everyone else is like 6'2", and I'm like,
Oh my
"Get
God.
the fuck away from each other! Go away!" And then I was a sight to see.
Oh,
But that
that's
kind of stuff
funny.
doesn't intimidate me because I'm like, whatever. Uh, but it was fun, and I was like, this is cool, and it is an aggressive play style that they have, and the tournament like thrives on that aggressive play style. It's like speedball, but they have like a little buzzer, and they've added they've introduced some new rules and stuff like that too. So you have like coaches that can make call outs for you on the sidelines, and then they're now doing like a respawn
Hmm.
for it as well. Um,
I wonder, are they kind of gearing towards an NSL style of rules or play? Do you know?
I'm not quite sure. I
Okay.
don't know a lot about NS. I'll be honest about that. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't
Well, it's
looked at
still
all of
fairly
that.
new over here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
They even they haven't had their first tournament yet. It's actually going on this weekend.
oh, cool.
Their first tournament,
Oh,
but
I think we
NSL.
I
So
think we have people that flew out there for it from SoCal for it.
I think yeah. There's definitely some people from your area
Yeah, like
that are
Murder
going
Inc.
to
is
it.
out there. I
Yeah,
think.
Murder
Yeah,
Inc.
Murder Inc.
SY. No, SYG's not there.
What's the other one?
Um,
Red Rum. It starts with an R. Blanking. I just saw it. They're out there too. It's a newer
yeah.
team, I think. Or Hellfire Airsoft is out there. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
I think I saw their stuff out there
Yeah.
or on Instagram saying that they were out there or something. I can't remember. But yeah, I saw a bunch of people were like, "Oh, going to NSL," and I don't know a lot about that NSL league to begin with. I'm still very new to the syndicate and
Right.
tournaments for airsoft as it is because like I've been in and out of like the state and then out of the country because of work, and so it's like I'm like caught up and then I'm gone for a
Yeah,
bit and then I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
catch
I
back
just
up
feel like
again.
catch up every
Exactly.
time you come back in.
Every time I come back, there's a
Uh huh.
different team drama or beef with another team or someone did something or this happened. I'm like, I feel like I'm in Gossip Girl. Like, let's go. Oh my god, this is
Let me get my
fantastic.
glass of wine and what now?
I will.
Tell
I
me
will
all
sit
about
here.
it.
I will sit here, and people will call me, and I'll be like, let me go grab a bottle real quick.
Yep, yep. Hang on, hang on. Let me get
don't
set.
don't start. Let me grab my blanket. I'm gonna get comfy. All right, go. Like, it's
So
fun. I
what do you
really, I
got?
really enjoy it.
So what do you got planned for 2023 for airsoft? What is your do you have any plans for or goals for like a gun, certain type of gun, or is there something you're looking at to upgrade or
So my goals are to get better at rifle, and actually, I have an HPA rifle, a piece that I bought from somebody, that I have gotten a lot better. So like, if you look at me using a rifle now, and then you look at me using it in that first 1v1 fight night prelim thing, um, two different players, which is good. We're improving.
way better? Okay.
Oh my god, I look I mean, I don't have like the trigger finger that some people have, but then again, for me it's really weird because I still want to hold it like it's a regular rifle and use my index finger as a trigger finger. Everyone else
Yeah.
uses like their fucking middle finger as their trigger finger, and I'm like,
Yeah. It's supposed to be faster or something.
I was
So,
like, whatever, dude. Like,
yeah.
you do you. I'm just trying to hit people, okay? Like, I just want to be able to touch my cheek to the gun when I aim, but I can't do
uh-uh.
that, so we're still
No.
adjusting. And then
Yeah.
so I've been asking a lot of rifle players, like Eddie Value. He's been helping me with some tips and tricks, like, especially for like the switching over to my left hand. Him and a bunch of my teammates, like Sebastian or Goon, they are mainly rifle players. So I've been getting a lot better at rifle. That's like my goal. I also want to go. Our team is trying to start a like a speed QB team and get some players. So I want to try to be a part of that as well. Uh, just and for me it's like biggest goal I guess would be to like remember to have fun while still being competitive.
Yeah.
That's like my biggest goal. Sorry, my dog is laying on the chair and spinning me.
Oh,
Come
you're
on,
fine.
come
It's
on,
fine.
up, up. She's like, please scratch me. Yeah, this is my dog Athena. Spoiled. Yes.
She's awake now.
She is awake now.
She had a good nap.
Yeah, do you sleep? She's like, I want to play. All my animals are spoiled. I grew up like on a farm, and so I like absolutely love animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's been really good talking with you.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Like, I really appreciate being invited onto this. This was really
Really?
cool.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
glad. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm glad.
I love
Yeah, it
meeting new
was
people and everything. So it was
yeah,
really,
me
really
too.
cool.
Me too. Yeah, I had a good time. It was so anyone watching or listening, we talked about airsoft here and there.
Yeah, just snippet.
It's in there, okay? It's in there. So I get comments here and there, where people are like, well, I think more so in the beginning when I first started these
Hmm.
podcasts, people would comment like some people would actually tag the time on the YouTube thing, um, where and like, oh, this is where they start talking about airsoft, and it's like 33 minutes in. Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
this just reminds me of like the Seth Rogen podcast where they just start talking and it's just like,
yeah, we just talk, bro.
exactly, you just talk.
Just,
Like, there's
yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
we'll just talk. We're just, whatever. I mean, I've had a couple people say that, like, oh, you're like Joe Rogan esque
Or
kind
yeah,
of,
Joe Rogan. There you go.
to yeah. I think that's what you said. I don't know.
I think I said Seth. I don't know.
Did you, Seth Rogen?
Someone important. Yeah, I think I was watching a cooking show that had Seth Rogen on it, which is why I thought Seth Rogen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, I always want it to be just a casual conversation. I don't do well with formats.
No, me either.
Um yeah, as far as talking, like yeah, it's just hey, hey, what's up?
Yeah,
you
exactly,
know?
exactly. It's
What-
like a lot more comfortable this way too. Like,
oh, for sure, man. Yeah, I can't do the oh, now what is your favorite gun to use on the field?
Yeah,
Like,
see,
bro, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
if you had asked me any of those kind of questions, I would have been like, pistol. And then I was like a little worried. You'd be like, okay, well, what kind of guns do you have, and like what parts do you use? Because I all my shit was built by other people. I haven't gotten to the level of like being able to build
No, you
my
don't
own
have to know
things.
it. You don't have to.
Exactly, exactly. So I was like,
Yeah.
this and like before this, I was like, please don't ask me about the parts to my guns because I have no idea. I really don't. And I'll be the first to admit, people are like, you don't like work on your own guns. Like, no, guys. Like for anyone listening,
Fuck that shit, bro.
I do not work on my own guns because I will be the first to admit that if I was to work on my own gun, it would not work right. It just freaking won't. I could
Even
watch
people that think they know how to work on their own guns, the shit doesn't
exactly.
work right, okay?
Exactly. I'm gonna go to somebody that has been playing airsoft for the 30 freaking years and has been building guns, and I will pay them
There you
because
go.
I have that lovely luxury of being able to afford it. Thank you, bless up, Lord. To to be able to afford it, to have a working gun. Okay, a
Hey,
reliable gun.
listen. This
So,
guy I talked to last week, he says, he goes, he pulls up this gun because a lot of people do like show and tell in here. You know, they'll
hmm
bring up their gear, they show, and he pulls up this gun and he's like telling all these things. I was like, man, that looks awesome, whatever. And he's like, yeah, this is I bought it from this company, Umbrella Armory,
hmm
and it was $2,000. And he keeps talking
yep.
like just just seamless as he, right there in the conversation, just says, and I said, wait, what? How much? And he's like $2,000. I'm like, Jesus, bro, what, what, what does it do?
Airsoft is expensive. All of my shit, I'm buying pre-used. Okay, I will not. I'm
Oh,
not buying anything that's brand fucking new. When I say I have the luxury, I have the luxury of someone being able to pay someone the $100 for the part and them to install it. Okay, I'm not
yeah.
paying. I'm not paying two
Now I
grand
will
for
say
a
this.
gun.
He did say, now for, this is for, he's been playing for 10 years. That's
Oh
one thing.
well,
The other
yeah,
thing is he plays enough, like every
yeah.
weekend. So he's already gone through, guns and, that burn up and break and all this kind of shit. He's like, so it is a lot to spend
Mhm.
up front, the buy once, cry once thing, whatever. But he said, my buddy has the same gun from the same group that built Umbrella Armory. It's been running for 6 years, has not broke. And that's, and he
That's
plays all the time.
phenomenal.
His buddy plays all,
Yeah,
that is fucking nuts. Like everyone I've talked with, especially speed softers, oh yeah, I got my high kappa, oh, but it's down right now.
yeah. Don't get me
Oh
started
no no
on
no,
that.
and it was down last week too. Oh no no, hold on, it was down 2 weeks ago too. Like
If you
Jesus Christ, bro.
you ask anyone on my team, and you ask them, hey, what is her gun working today? Like my very first high kappa. The answer would always be no.
Yeah, it's
Always
gone.
no. I was
It's
buying a new
fucked.
freaking nozzle every weekend.
Oh my God.
Every weekend, every other weekend, had to replace the nozzle. We're fucking with other parts just to get everything to work right. And it's like
I don't understand that.
I don't. I wish I understood because I'm just like, guys, I'm over here. I'm like, I just want to play airsoft. My gun keeps breaking.
Like,
Please,
bro, I want
like
to know how the fuck the company High Kappa. I guess that's the name of the company that
yeah.
makes it.
Tokyo Marui.
Oh yeah, TM.
Yeah,
Right.
TM.
That's right. That's right. TM High Kappa is right. Okay. How the fuck did they get this market where they got consumers to agree and say, yeah, this is acceptable to spend this much on a gun, and it's always fucking broke.
And this is the one thing I say. The one argument I have with that. My gun was never broken when it was stock.
Ah,
That's the issue. That's where you come into issues. Tokyo Marui high kappas, fantastic stock.
really?
Yes, fantastic. Never had a single problem with it when it was stock. Actually,
Well, why the
you
fuck
won't
are people ripping it apart and doing shit?
because everyone wants this. Come on, we're larping a little bit here, bud. We gotta show off. It's gotta be a pretty color. It can't
I,
be plastic. God forbid you have a plastic BB gun. It needs to have that metal frame with the little hexagons cut out. Okay, and I need the color to match my team's color or my mask or the Crocs I'm gonna play in that day. I need all of that. Oh, and by the way, I need it to hit you just a little bit harder than the stock does. So I need to fuck with everything inside of it
Oh
to make
my
sure I'm getting
god.
that extra 50 FPS because, I want to make sure people are calling their hits or whatever. Like that is literally why.
That sounds like a bad relationship, okay?
Oh my god, it's like me and this gun have an
That's what
abusive
I'm
relationship.
saying.
It's an abusive
Get
relationship.
divorced,
I,
okay?
I did.
Cut
That's
it
why
off.
I have a different pistol now, as well as I'm running the rifle. Life's been good. My shit's working right now. Been
Good.
reliable.
Yes. See,
Slight,
get everything in alignment. You
slightly
got your
less.
chi. Okay.
I'm zen on the field. I'm like
There
I
you
know
go.
this is gonna shoot where I want it to shoot. We're good. We're good. And it's like then when you start changing out the internals, there are brands that don't work well with other brands, and I'm learning all of this like for the first time. I'm like, guys, I just want the fucking gun to shoot. I
Bro.
just want to pull the trigger. I want to see that little green BB go doo. Like that's what I want. Okay? I don't want me to pull the trigger and watch the BB roll out of my goddamn barrel.
Yeah. No
Okay?
shit.
That's happened too many times. I learned very early on what a hop up was because I'd shoot and my BB goes doop doop and then like just drops, wouldn't even make it past the 50. I was like, up your hop up. I'm like, the fuck is a hop up?
Oh my god.
They're like,
That's so
you have
crazy.
a little wheel in there. Turn the wheel. I'm like, this is. I was like, yo, real steel guns aren't this fucking complicated.
No shit.
They're not this fucking complicated. I can take my
I'm like, you
pistol
can buy a
apart.
goddamn 9 mil.
Yep.
You can buy a Smith and Wesson Shield. Now,
The
it's
M&T
probably not
shield.
the best,
I
but
think that's what I have actually. It's my little
right.
gun safe right there. But
We got two of them. These things are fucking great, and
I
it
can
was like
take
$220.
I can take it apart without even looking. Without even looking. Like completely apart. My high capo shit's gotta like line up exactly
Uh,
right. There'll be a stupid little plastic part that doesn't want to fucking come out. I'm over here like beating the shit out of this goddamn gun. I'm like, well, also this is probably part of the reason why it doesn't work half the times because I can't, it doesn't want to come apart. And everyone's like, "Oh, do you clean your gun?" I was
oh
like,
my god,
so I,
bro.
I need to clean my plastic gun. That was new to me. That was new. Everyone's like, "Yeah, you gotta lube it like a real gun." I'm like, guys, like
Mm-mm,
this has more parts and
fuck
pieces than a
that.
real steel gun. Okay,
Yeah.
I can't even like name all the little pieces in this gun. And then you've got like the tiniest little screws. I'm talking like my ass of eyesight. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna lose this. And I can't take anything apart here in my apartment. I got fucking cats. Okay, we all know what they like to do. Let me just like knock this. You're using that. Let me just swat this shit
Oh
off
my
the
god.
fucking desk, and you're
Yeah.
never gonna
Buy
find it
spring.
again.
Buy
Yeah.
bolts.
Oh my god, and then you're taking the springs. Totally forgot about that.
Oh, dude.
You're taking it
Uh-uh.
apart, a spring will just fly out. Don't even know where the fuck that
Gone.
came from. Don't know where it came from.
Don't know what it
The one
is.
that sits in the nozzle, that tiny ass little one in
Yes.
the I don't know how many of those I've lost. I won't even notice it fling out. I'll just someone else will have to tell me to
When
do it.
you move out, yeah, yeah. There'll be
I've probably
somebody be
vacuumed it
cleaning the
up.
carpet, and it'll be stuck in the
Yep.
vacuum or something.
Yep, I've probably vacuumed so many of those up. Like I'm not even joking.
Well,
I
I
keep
used to work on
spare
these
parts.
guns here, and all this was cleared out. All this
Mhm.
here, and this wall used to be tools hanging on the wall.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's a pegboard behind there, just like this one is actually the
Oh,
one I'm
that's
looking at.
sick. See, I'm trying to
This
do
one,
something like that. That's pretty sick though.
um, and then so that wall used to be a
The noise canceling foam on the wall. I
yeah,
see you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I put that up because I talk so loud, bro. Well, when I first started these podcasts, I was nervous, right?
No, I got you.
Talking with people, and I think mostly not talking with people, but mostly because I've not played airsoft. I played paintball,
Mhm.
but I didn't play airsoft because I got into this because I was uh, paralyzed, whatever. My sons got into it, and I was editing these videos. So I I think I was nervous about that, and I mean, I drink anyway, but I would drink way
Preach.
more.
Preach.
I would drink way more. Uh, but yeah, it was. I would talk really loud, and so I started putting these up, and it really helped. It really helped. And I used to stand for all of these. I didn't sit. I have this desk that raises up, and
Okay.
I would stand. If you look at my older podcasts, like 6 or 7 months ago, I'm standing in all of them. and just fucking hyper, bro, hyper. I was
I, g-
just,
I feel that I just chugged an energy drink
oh shit,
for.
what is it?
Or, this one's an Alani. I normally drink the Celsiuses,
Oh yeah, I've never heard of
but
that one. Okay.
no, they're pretty good. Not as good for you as the Celsiuses are, but
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's got 200 milligrams caffeine. You know, this would be like my third one of the day.
There
Fuck
you
it,
go.
why not?
Oh
Like,
yeah, there you go.
everyone's
Hell
like, how
yeah.
are you not dead? And I'm like, dude, when you're in the military, you literally are peeing caffeine. There's
Yeah, for real.
there's no way. There's no way. Like me and I probably drink less caffeine than the majority of the people I work with, but I will
Yeah.
average a minimum 400 milligrams caffeine a day in
Oh yeah.
some way, shape, or form. And then I nicotine, right? And then but we have a bunch of people in the office that do like the Zen pouches or fucking whatever they're called, like
Oh,
the
okay.
dip pouches.
I smoked
Um,
for years. Yeah.
I started because of the Marine Corps. Because we have a smoke pit outside our office, and the Marine Corps can't tell me I can't go sit out there for 10 minutes.
Oh shit.
So,
Yeah, we
you bet,
smoke. I
bet
didn't
your ass
smoke
I
before I
use
went
that.
in. Yeah, I smoked when I started or when I went in. And we used to smoke over in Okinawa. We used to smoke Camel unfiltered, the original
Nice.
Camels. Yeah, no
Nice.
filters. And if you switched to a filtered cigarette, you were a fucking pussy. Okay.
Oh, God. Yeah, and everyone gives you shit. Actually, I've dipped one time, and the first time I ever dipped was at TBS. So, at the base
Yeah.
school, a bunch of people were dipping. And we were in a roll cage, like a roll train. And I did not realize, I was not prepared for how much saliva it makes your mouth water.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm in this fucking roll cage with dip for the first time. Everyone thought I was gonna throw. That was like the bet in the platoon. They were like, oh, is she gonna throw up? And people were like betting. Like, I think she's gonna puke. Blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
cause this thing's fucking rolling you back and forth, and you're strapped in. It's like simulating if you're in a vehicle accident or like a armor vehicle accident, you're rolling or whatnot.
Gotcha.
And I'm hanging over one of the guys. His name's Donnelly, and I had spit so bad. I'm my mouth like this. I'm like, Donnelly, I really got fucking spit, man. And
Oh shit.
I'm literally dangling over this
Yeah.
man. And he's like, Kudo, don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. And then he's just like, guys, we gotta go. Like, and then it didn't make me dizzy or anything. Like like I didn't even care about that. I was just not prepped for how much saliva it put in your
Oh
mouth.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, Donnelly, I have to spit next to you. He's like, don't, don't even try. And I was
Oh
like,
shit.
thankfully I was like able to keep it in my mouth, but
Whew.
they fucking roll us back. We all get out. I was like, the first thing I did was like spitting out like
Oh
saliva.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how y'all do this. This shit is fucking gross. Just spitting. I was like, well, we're proud of you for not throwing up. And I was like, yeah, well, it's just the amount of liquid. I was like, I almost spit in Donnelly's face, bro. Like,
Dude.
it
It's
was
like your body's telling
gross.
you this is not something you want in your mouth. Like this is your it's just trying to just I remember when I was like 13 or 12 or something
Oh,
and
Jesus.
my cousin came up from Florida and he had been dipping Copenhagen since he was like 11. So him and I are the same age. He comes up and he's like, "Yeah, we went to this, local park whatever. Just
Hmm.
walking around. So it's the first time I tried a dip was straight ass Copenhagen
Yep.
and oh my god, I like to this day, I almost turned green thinking about it. I was so fucking sick. I
It's
can't I can't try a dip anymore. Yeah.
funny you say that because the dip I had tried was like it was in like some sort of little packet, and then somehow one of them thought it was like at the end of the week they all like your platoon gets together with your captain, right, your SBC, the guy that's like judging you or whatever, and he dipped heavily. I'm talking like fat ass lips at straight of Copenhagen,
Yeah.
like the wintergreen fucking Copenhagen, and I was not prepared. Let me tell you. Because someone was like, "Yeah, Kudo, we just want to talk about your accomplishment for not throwing up today, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Whatever, y'all making this a big deal, ain't a big deal." And he was
Right.
like, and at my SPC, my captain, he's like, well, what was it? And they're like, oh, it was like the little powder. He was like, nah,
It's not
nah,
dipping. That's
that
not
ain't
dipping.
dipping. Pulls the fucking dip can, fucking does a little flicky thing that I still can't fucking do. Mind you, I don't know how people do that. Does a little flicky thing, packs it. He's like, opens it. We're gonna do this together, Kudo. I was like, okay, like
Oh
whatever. Not
Jesus.
expecting. anything of it. So I took a fat lip. I'm matching this man. I'm
Mm.
like, yo, my pride's on the line. This man, like, we've had problems. My
Mm.
captain and I during TBS, we had some problems,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, this ain't gonna. Nah, man. Like, I'm matching you. I was like, yo, sir, you take the first one. He's like, no, no, you first. I was like, no, because I'm gonna match you. And he just starts laughing. He's like, okay. He's a fat ass lip puts it in.
Oh
I
God.
fucking match him. Thankfully, I held on until I was walking up the stairs to my room, my barracks room. I got dizzy and almost passed out.
Oh yeah.
The high doesn't hit you. It was like a delayed
Right.
reaction.
Oh
It was
yeah.
like it was extremely delayed. I was like, what the fuck is everyone complaining for? Like, I should do it with my mouth. Super unladylike. My mom, I could just hear my mom in the head. Candy, that's fucking disgusting. You're supposed to be a lady, ma. Um, that's not how I raised you. Um, and I'm walking up the stairs in my barracks room once we're done, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like dizzy. I'm doing this. I'm holding on to the rail, like crawling up the stairs. I was like, well, I can't just throw this, can't just spit this out in the stairwell. That's fucking gross. I had to make it to my room. When I made it to my room, I fucking took that shit out. I'm like gargling my mouth with water. I'm like,
Mm.
bleh, like this is not never again, never again. I had to lay down.
Oh
I
God.
I
Yeah.
it, I felt drunk. It gave me this drunk
Yeah.
feeling.
It's a yeah.
I was like, this is rough. And I'm thinking, I was like, this man does this. He goes through like a can in 2 days.
Oh yeah.
Like this is absurd. That's
Bro,
disgusting.
the guy I work with, it's me and one other guy that work together, that flip houses and stuff, and he smoked like 2 packs a day
Mhm.
before, and so it's like last year, and he smoked for a long time. So he wanted to start slowing down, and then so he slowed down, and he probably smokes maybe 1 cigarette a day. So he picked up dipping instead. He's a
Yikes.
horrible fucking dipper, by the way. Like messy as fuck. Okay,
Oh, that's gross. Like spit
he
everywhere. Like
messy as fuck. He
ugh.
first of all, he don't know how to. He doesn't pack it. He.
It's hard. I don't know how people fucking do that. And they get
I
that nice
mean, you
lick
don't
on it.
have to do it like one handed. You can pack it like this, like you do a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He gets it and it's just drip. It just falls everywhere. He gets a like
Oh.
half the fucking can. He puts in a and an, I mean
Ugh.
the dude
It's like the
is
string in the
like,
tree.
I mean, I love the guy. I do. He's like a brother to me. But
He's
he
gonna listen
is.
to this later and
I
he's like,
tell him all the time. I'm like, oh, bro, no, you really suck at dipping. Okay. I mean, like, what are you doing? You're horrible. You're still an amateur. You've been doing it for a year. And so he'll when he goes to buy cans, he buys like the
a
whole
log.
roll.
He buys the
Yeah,
log. Yeah.
yeah. And 3, 4 of these cans stacked up in a new unit we're gonna tear apart or whatever, and just and he just really messy. He spit in the in a cup or whatever,
A lid.
leaves it sitting somewhere, knocks it over. We'll do flooring and brand new floors we're putting
What?
in, and he's carrying around with them as we're sliding around
Oh
and
my god.
knock it over. And I'm like, dude, can you fucking
What?
bro?
I've seen people drink this spit on accident. Some
I
people.
drank it on accident
Oh, stop, stop.
when I was
What?
in
Oh my god. Oh, the thought of that.
I went I went to
What?
I went MCT. So after boot camp, came here to Paris Island, and I
Mhm.
went to Camp Geiger for
This year, like
Marine
3 weeks
combat
of
training.
yeah, your three
Yeah,
weeks of training. Yep.
and then so we got out of there, and we had just a day or what, I don't know, it was a Sunday or Saturday night or something, I don't know. We were able to go out, out. And we went to the E Club, and we couldn't order a beer. Okay,
Yeah.
it was underage, and so we're standing in an E Club like looking for a fight, and it's dark as fuck, and beer bottles sitting around. I'm like, well, fuck, man. There's beer right here. What are you talking about?
Oh my god, no.
I think it was like half a bottle. It
Stop.
looked like
Stop. You did not chug
half a
half a
bottle.
bottle of dip spit. You did not.
I didn't, not the whole thing. Just a couple swigs. I didn't swallow it. It just
The
I
thought of
spit.
it.
I didn't swallow. Okay, and it was nasty.
You sound like a quitter. That's a quitter right there. You fucking commit.
Damn it! That's why I was fucked up in the head. Okay, I quit. It was so
Oh
bad. It was so bad. And I'm
God.
gonna tell you what's funny is,
How'd you not
uh,
instantaneously throw up? That's what I want to know.
so I'm gonna because I wanted to keep my fucking pride. Okay, so I didn't want anyone knowing. So my buddies are standing here talking, and I take this thing. I'm like, look, there's beer right here. I take it, and I instantly realize, and I'm like, just spit it back in there, and I'm just like holding my mouth like this, like, oh my god, yep.
You're trying to convince yourself of something else. You're
Oh,
fine.
dude.
You're fine. You're
Oh,
fine. That was beer.
it
We're
was
fine. That was
fucking
beer. I swear it was
nasty.
beer. Oh my God.
So, anyway, yeah, I do not pick up
Oh,
random beer bottles ever again.
literally, I
Come on,
feel
Hannah. It's
it
okay.
sitting in my throat right
No,
now.
no, it's all right. It's all right.
Instantaneously would vomit. I pride out the window at that point. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Yo, no.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Well, listen, it has been really cool meeting you again.
thank you. I
I know I
appreciate it.
said
This
that
was a lot
earlier,
of
but
fun.
yeah, it is. It is. It's been fun. And a lot of these, they go kind of long, and realize, I don't realize how
Yeah,
long
we're
they go. So
just chilling. Yeah.
for real, yeah. So tell everybody where they can find you online.
Yeah, so what used to be my personal Instagram account, Airsoft has completely taken over. So that's
Oh
why,
shit.
right? So that's why you saw a bunch of those pictures
Yeah.
of all my like little activities. But my Instagram handle is at HCOUTO11. Hannah Kudo 11. So, or H Kudo 11.
Nice. Now, do you stream still?
I'm actually getting back into it. So
Okay.
I'll
Is that gonna
take
be on
you
your
guys.
TikTok?
Yeah, it'll be on my TikTok. So this is like my setup right now. Like my little these. I collect these
Oh,
in
what
the.
is that?
So my twin brother gets me these. Let's see if I can.
Your little plushy
Okay.
toys or whatever?
So these, my twin brother gets me these. Uh, little things. I get one for like every holiday.
I've
And
never
so
seen them. What are they?
they come in pairs. So this is also my keyboard. But these are
Nice.
like the little things you can flip inside out. They're happy and then they're angry. So they're happy and then they're angry.
Oh
So you
shit.
can do that. So that one, this one, and this one, I'll do that. My nana made these little she crochets, so she made like little cactuses.
Yeah.
So that's the little plants.
Oh, that's cool.
And then these are my twin brother and always gets me these things. So like the PB and J, and he always says like one of them is him and one of them is me because we're like best friends. So it would be like, oh, I'm the peanut butter and you're the jelly, or like I'm the hot
Yeah.
cocoa and you're the marshmallow, or you know, I'm the fucking hot sauce and he's the taco, whatever. But he gets these from like Hallmark, and so I just kind of like collect them now. And this is my gaming setup. I play off of an Alienware laptop. Um,
Nice.
I have a tower. I am in the process of getting it fixed because it doesn't work right from the guy I bought it from.
Yeah.
He had some parts in there backwards, and when went to put the parts in the correct way, they don't work. So I will be
Oh
starting the
Lord.
stream soon. I will be posting it. I actually have clips that will be going up on my TikTok and very very soon. So yeah, I'm excited to do that again. It's a lot of fun, and I play every day. So fuck it, why not?
Right. Oh, that's cool. Good. Well, listen, I appreciate you. Thank you for being on, and hopefully I'll get together with you soon.
Yeah,
I'll have
definitely.
you back on here soon.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, just
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me know. This is seriously a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. So thank you again
Awesome.
for
Yeah.
having me on.
Cool. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too. Bye.
I'll see you.